Go.
Live from the Schmoes Know Network studios in Los Angeles, California, it's time for the Schmoes Know Movie Show. Tonight, Anthony Ingruber, William Mapother, Rya Kihlstedt, and Finstock returns with his announcement. And now, here's your host, Kristian Harloff, Miri Jedekin, and free on bail, Josh Wildman Macuga.
Hello, Schmoville. Well, we are back. Mark Ellis is in Oregon at the moment. I'll have some information exactly what club that is when I'm able to look at my...
Helium in Portland.
Look at that, Helium Portland. Next to me, spitting out the knowledge of where Mark Ellis is the Wild Man from Guilty Movie Pleasures here on the Schmoes Know Network. What's up, Wild Man? How you doing?
Buddy, I'm doing well. Your push last week got Couch Mafia to 10,000 subscribers.
I love that. And we're going to talk newly 10,000 subscriber ointed. We have Josh Macuga here. We'll talk about that in a second. But
be here, bud.
Tiffany Smith, Alicia Malone, the ladies of Schmoville are not here right now. So, joining us from AMC Movie Talk, finally, and she's hosting a show, Miri the Jedi herself, Miri Jedekin. Hello, Miri.
Hello, guys.
How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good to have you finally, back in Schmoville.
Yes, it's nice to be back in Schmoville. I feel like I never left.
What's that all about?
And there's an echo.
Kenny, what are you doing? You throwing your voice?
Yeah.
Nice job, Kenny.
Ruined
regular
Miri's
Jeff
intro
Dunham
and
over
everything.
That's all good.
So, a lot of people do, and we're not going to talk about exactly what was on the show, but a lot of people may or may not know this. Miri, you were supposed to be part of the after-hour show.
I was.
You missed a debacle.
I missed it, and I was supposed to do something else, and then I got sick, and so that got derailed, and the whole thing was a mess.
We're going to do another one.
All right. Well, I'll be a part of that.
Yeah, see, there you go.
I'm going to have no choice.
It's a promise.
Yeah, it's a promise. So there is a lot of stuff that's going to happen tonight. We, like Ken said, we have some special guests. And then if last week, if you watched the show, you saw Finstock was acting very strange. I talked to him about it after the show. Even more strange, even stranger for Finstock.
I think that Miri might dislike him more than Tiffany.
Or even, well, not more than Maud. Hey, Cody, turn the air conditioner on. Come on. And then we have, there's some other guests as far as what Finstock's going to do. He's going to come in here. He's going to tell us what the hell's been going on. Because if you watch, I watched Box Office Monday. Box Office Monday. Coming with you, JTE, and the man known as Finstock. And Finstock was just acting strange. So I said, dude, just come on Thursday and tell us what the hell's going on. So he's going to do that a little later.
Not taking his meds.
Yeah, and we're gonna find out about the news. But I want to say something. Now, I have a little announcement that I want to make. Now,
on your show?
On my show. I want to cut to our editor-in-chief, Mark Reilly. And first of all, Schmoville, I want you guys to, as far as being involved on Twitter, you hashtag Schmoes Know.
Shocked that you're turning to him.
Well, yeah, he's sleeping.
Looks a little flustered up here.
You can also, by the way, if you go...
I'm working here. I'm working.
I'm going to leave the YouTube chat on, by the way. We're going to have people. We have our new intern, Andres, who is going to be monitoring. So if we have anybody like we had last week, you get kicked out of Schmoville forever. So just know that when you're posting your comments. So I'm going to leave it open, though, tonight because I decided it's not fair to everyone else to close it. So you can also participate on Schmoville on Facebook, live chat there. But let's turn our attention to Mark Reilly. At the end of tonight's show, Reilly, I am throwing a challenge down on you, my friend.
Whoa.
A challenge.
What?
Reilly is holding up. Riley is holding.
Can
you explain what that belt is first before I say what the challenge?
It's definitely not
sure.
Chanel.
This is the ultimate schmodown. What do we call it again?
Championship,
Is that it?
yeah.
Sure, the championship. I won.
Right.
I wear this to the bus stop.
Barely.
Well, enjoy that.
Barely won because Josh Macuga gave me a hell of a time.
Well, I'm throwing a challenge down to you, but not for that belt. I have a new game that I want to play. I want to have an impression off tonight with you.
Let's do it.
I want to have an impression off. So the way it'll work, tell me if you like these rules. I think I take 5 people that maybe I think I can do. You take 5 that you can do. We throw them in a hat. Either one of us could get any of those. So there's 10.
Are they celebrities or people you know?
No,
it's this guy Dave from Bagel
exactly.
Bakery. He's great.
I don't know.
I should do my friend.
Trust me, I'm nailing it.
Yeah. No, it's people, celebrities that we do, and that we've probably done in this show or other shows here and there. But
Arnold.
But let's say for Arnold, that doesn't necessarily mean that I will get him. Riley could get him. And Ken, the pit boss, is going to give scenarios. So it could be, like someone picks out a name of the hat and it's whatever, going to a sandwich shop. And you'll do the same thing. Miri will do the same thing. And then we'll vote. Schmoville will vote at the end on who will win and be the impression champion.
It's a crowd vote. It's a judging vote.
It's like a People's Choice Award, so it's basically useless.
So why don't you? So first of all, Schmoville, as we get into
everything
this,
Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, and that'll happen at the end of the show. Right now, who will win? Will it be myself or will it be Mark Reilly in the impression off tonight?
Wow, that's awesome.
It's going to be fun.
That's going to be fun.
We'll have a good time. So let's talk to Ken Napzok. He breaks down news. We listen to it. We talk about it. Hit it.
I'm Ken Napzok, and these are your Schmoes Know headlines, brought to you by schmoesknow.com, your source for movie news, reviews, and clues. In our lead story of the week, DC's Suicide Squad movie is still in need of a leader. The role of Rick Flag was originally to be played by Tom Hardy, but he bailed last week. That bad news was softened by talk that director David Ayer was eyeing Jake Gyllenhaal as his replacement. But Variety reported this week that Gyllenhaal has turned down the role, probably so he can have more time to stay at home and raise Alicia Malone's children. Or he just doesn't want to join a superhero movie. No rumors have surfaced on any other choices, but rumors did surface this week that Ben Affleck's Batman could make a cameo in Suicide Squad to set up a possible standalone Batman movie with Jared Leto's Joker as the villain. All of which was prophesied in the Bible when it was written, and then when the third Batman movie series starts, God will send his son back to Earth to stop the madness. Warner Brothers has not officially commented on the story. According to George Lucas, the creator of Radioland Murders, Disney Studios has discarded any story work he had sold them for Star Wars Episode 7 and beyond. While doing press for Strange Magic, Lucas told Cinema Blend that his work was tossed out by Disney and that J.J. Abrams and company have made up their own story for The Force Awakens. Sad news for anyone hoping that Episode 7 was going to be about Han Solo filing retirement paperwork while Princess Leia planned to cruise back to Naboo to celebrate Life Day with the Gungans. If you didn't get those jokes, you're not invited to my birthday party. Lucas is not bitter, explaining that he's excited to watch Star Wars as a fan for the first time ever. In more Star Wars news, brace yourself. The screen tests for Gareth Edwards' directed standalone Star Wars movie have begun. So get ready for story after story after story after story about actors and actresses getting auditions. The first batch of starlets brought in are rumored to be Rooney Mara, Kate Mara, Felicity Jones, fresh from her Theory of Everything success, and orphan black actress Tatiana Maslany. No word on what parts they are up for, or even confirmation on what the story will be about. But rest assured, your 42-year-old single cousin has some theories, and he'd really like you to listen to his podcast about it. And by podcast, I mean he just wants you to sit next to him at the next family dinner. Through the magic of Facebook, actress Mila Jovovich announced that she and her director husband Paul W.S. Anderson have finished birthing their second child, and therefore production on their film Resident Evil: The Final Chapter will begin shooting in August with a September 2016 release in mind. The Resident Evil film franchise began in 2002, back when I was still trying to convince myself that Britney Spears was still a virgin. And it's quietly chugged along with 5 films under its belt, pulling in over $900 million worldwide. Nicolas Cage will be the lead in the upcoming satire Army of One, set to be directed by Curb Your Enthusiasm and Seinfeld veteran Larry Charles. The film centers around the true story of ex-con Gary Faulkner, who tried to sneak into Pakistan and Afghanistan in an effort to hunt down Osama bin Laden by himself. North Korea has okayed the release of this film. Army of One will be shot next Tuesday. Cage's next movie will then be shot on Wednesday. Another one on Thursday. And another movie on Friday. So on and so on. The third installment of the rebooted Star Trek franchise has already gone through some behind-the-scenes stress, what with the protracted search for a director. First-time director Roberto Orci leaving the production as director, but staying on as producer, and Justin Lin taking over. Now the production has 2 new writers, Doug Jung, who worked with Bad Robot on a film called Diamond, and Simon Pegg. Yes, the same Simon Pegg who has played the USS Enterprise's chief engineer Scotty quite excellently in the first 2 films. Pegg is not new to writing, of course, as he had a strong hand in writing Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World World's End. Also, the chance of Chris Pine being replaced as Captain Kirk by Nick Frost is now at 5-1 odds, according to Las Vegas. 5-1. And finally, we are less than 1 month away from the most anticipated unintentional comedy of the year, 50 Shades of Grey, hitting movie theaters with the thud of a creeper tripping over his own trench coat. Here he is. Well, if you're going to see the movie, as a joke, get ready to not see one of the book's most infamous sex scenes. Director Sam Taylor Johnson confirmed this week that the controversial scene didn't make the movie. The scene is, of course, the one in which Christian Grey removes Anna's tampon. No, that's not a thing. That's not real. The movie will be released on February 13th. I'm Ken Apsuk, and those are your Schmoes Know headlines brought to you by SchmoesKnow.com.
Breaking it down. That's the pit boss. That's the news. Ken, do you really know what that story is? What's the actual sexual act that they're cutting out? Because I don't know what it is.
He tried to skirt that one.
What is it?
Well, he removes a certain item, and then that's blocking his path.
We've stopped being.
It's not the After Hours show. I can't legally say
it's not you doing it. It's what he does.
He pulls out her tampon and then has sex with
That's disgusting. Why'd you say that? It's disgusting.
It's the most unsexy thing I've ever heard.
It's Melanie Griffith's daughter that's the lead,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And Don Johnson. Let's not forget.
Right.
Now, we all know that this movie is going.
You mean Nash Bridges?
Nash Bridges.
Yeah.
Now, we all know this movie is going to destroy.
Crockett.
Yeah, Crockett.
This movie is going to destroy financially.
Yeah, it's already breaking records on Fandango and stuff.
It's going to be, especially. Look.
Really?
It's going to destroy. Listen.
Are you going to see it?
No way. Well, I'm going to
You're going to have to see it. But I mean, if you
am I
didn't,
going to see it voluntarily? No. Will I see it? Yes.
Here's the thing with this movie. Is that you have to also remember that before, Star Wars and the Avengers, this was the most watched trailer of last year, and you can't really count Star Wars and Avengers because they came out later and stuff. But the fact that how many people? This is a very popular novel. It's a shitbox that people want to see for some reason, and you have. It's rated R, but they're marketing this thing brilliantly. It's brilliant how they're marketing it.
I mean, it's basically
in Valentine's Day,
right? It's basically not hung. What's the one with Fassbender?
Oh, Shame.
It's
not really, because there's actually Shame made you feel like there was addiction.
He's not a sex addict. He's just into kinky stuff.
Yeah.
So it's this
or
is
maybe
one
he
thing
is. I don't know. I didn't read the book. So
we got Johnny LaQuasto from DC Movie News sitting in on the couch. What do you got? What do you got, brother?
Forgive me if I'm wrong.
Oh, JT. There you go.
50 Shades of Grey is the sequel to Eat, Pray, Love. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
You got it.
So, yeah.
So I mean that's this thing's stupid. No one wants to talk about this. Another movie.
So who's going to go see it? Like our mom's friends?
Lots
a lot of girls.
lots of people that read the book, and also some people that didn't, that are going to get dragged to see the movie. It's gonna do well.
It's gonna do well.
What are your predictions? Money opening weekend domestic.
70.
I think maybe even more.
You think more?
Will it beat American Sniper?
I'll tell you what.
No, I
because
need 95.
Yeah, okay.
95.
maybe
That no one's beat.
No, American
January.
Snipers.
Can we talk about that for a second? Because $95 million
in January
is insane. No matter what you think about the movie, for me, I thought it was a really good CNN special. A lot of other people love the movie. Good.
You didn't like it. You're shaking your head. You didn't like it.
I did not like it. I didn't love it.
It's fine, but that
I had a lot of problems with it.
Take that off the table, because I'm with you. I had a lot of problems with it too. Take it right off the table. The fact that movie made $95 million, that is summer blockbuster money.
Yeah.
In January. That's 4 days.
Actually,
That's
it's
the 4
more
days.
now. Yeah, no, now it's
That's 4. That's including Martin Luther King. But still,
like over 130 at this point.
But it's made an insane amount of money. How much money?
It is?
What is that?
It's the red states.
But why not Lone Survivor?
Because you look at it this way, and Hurt Locker did 19 million domestically. Lone Survivor only did about 38 or 40,
and they both weren't placed in America.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Same war, same kind of thing. American Sniper, it came out right around the Oscars. He gets nominated. Everybody wants to see the story of American Sniper, and it was a very popular book at the same way too.
The one thing that because the argument with that is that Lone Survivor also came out around the Oscar time, also was a very popular book. The difference, though, is
Bradley Cooper?
No, not just Bradley Cooper. Not just the trailer. It's the fact that
Clint Eastwood.
Not just Clint Eastwood.
It's all those factors. Keep going. But
the reason I think the main factor is that what your initial point is that this is the only movie out of those films, not Hurt Locker, not Lone Survivor. This is the only movie that you have both over, in a different part, in a different place, and in America.
Sure.
So you feel like you're still okay. I'm relating to it. It's home. Plus, it came out at a later time. The farther away you get from the conflict, and even with all the stuff that's going on right now, people are like, there's a show that was on a long time ago on FX called Over There.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was such a great
They
show.
only had one season.
Because it came out like as the
too
war was
soon.
still going on, and no one's like, I don't want to watch that shit. So because it was just they were too attached to it. So it could be it, but at 90 and the most profitable R-rated film next to The Matrix. That's pretty crazy. Opening weekend.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy. Anyway, that's a good point. So Luke Beard over on the YouTube, great name by the way. YouTube chat board says that the tagline of deadliest sniper in U.S. history.
Yeah.
That's intriguing to people.
That is.
Regardless, it really is. People go, oh, all right, yeah, I want to see that. Because we like the best.
I'll say this: my mom and dad, who are very red state people, went to see it, and they said that the entire theater, this is in Pittsburgh, PA, sat until the end of the credits and then stood up and clapped.
Wow.
So,
all right,
just saying,
patriotism.
Patriotism
It
is a
ain't dead.
strong.
Well, speaking of patriotism, let's talk about Star Wars. We got this spin-off movie that's coming out. You have Rooney Mara, who's being rumored, and if you go back in time, Ken Knapsack.
Is it me? Hold on, real quick. Is
Yeah.
it me that like really kind of feels slighted by the word spin-off in the Star Wars movies? Like, cause
It's just you.
Is it? Because it shouldn't be a spin-off. Reminds
Why?
me of like Kramer after Seinfeld or Joey after Friends.
but that's just-
spin-off. It's
well,
like
they
it's
tainted the
I
word.
like this
Those
word
guys tainted the
standalone
word.
franchise. I like
This
standalone.
guy
It's not
thinks,
standalone.
This guy thinks Darth Vader's Luke's uncle. Like,
That's true.
Hey, I just bought Star Wars gummy vitamins.
What was
It's
it?
got
What-
Darth Vader
what
on
was
it.
it?
probably to seduce a woman.
What did he say when? I can't remember, something you said that was really funny about the spin-off. And it's like when Tom Hardy was in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, he's playing Bane again in Suicide Squad.
My bad.
That's all right. It's all right.
Sorry, Miri.
Now,
It's okay.
let's talk-
I'm not offended.
Now, Miri, with Miri the Jedi as your Twitter handle. By the way, Miri needs 8.
Oh well, we don't know that.
Let's see. Maybe Miri needs before the start of the show. Miri needed 8 followers to get to 10,000 followers.
To 10,000 Club.
Yeah, so follow her on Twitter. It's at
Not
Miri,
the Mile High
at
Club,
Miri
guys.
well, that's the after hour show. At
Yeah,
Miri
8
the
followers.
Jedi. Yeah, let's see, 8 followers to get
8.
Miri to 10,000.
8 left.
Macuga got to 10,000 on YouTube, so thank you for that.
Thank you guys
And
very much.
yeah, so let's talk about with that handle of Miri the Jedi. We know
Yes,
that we
sir.
talk Star Wars, you and I, a lot. Rooney Mara is one of the best out there right now. As actresses, actors, whatever. She's just a talent. How do you feel about her and these other names that are testing for the spinoff movie?
Well, I think it's interesting, first of all, that both Mara sisters are in the running, because that's kind of interesting. We haven't really seen them compete in auditions.
Oh,
although,
really?
who
Is
knows?
Kate Mara?
I don't think so.
Kate Mara was in
Didn't
That's
he
what
say
Ken just
Kate?
said. He said Kate Mara.
Which I
Really?
didn't know. I thought
Ooh.
it was just Rooney, Tatiana, and who's the third one? I forget.
The Felicity Jones.
Felicity Jones, yeah. All 3 of which, and Kate also, are,
I didn't hear the
are
Kate Mara part.
exciting young actresses.
Yeah.
Rooney, for sure, for me, is the one that I would get most excited about. Because
You a
I
House
think,
of Cards fan?
Yeah, huge House of
Okay.
Cards
Okay,
fan, but
cool.
that's Kate, not Rooney.
No, I know, but I'm saying like as far as Kate and Rooney.
Yeah, I like House of Cards for all kinds of reasons other than Kate, but Rooney, for me, like, she had me at Dragon Tattoo. Like, she's
so
so
good.
phenomenal. She had me at Social Network even. In the
Yeah.
tiny minute that she has on screen, she just like...
And what was the Soderbergh one she did with Channing
Side
Tatum?
Effects.
Side Effects.
She's
yeah.
great in that.
Great in that. So we had a
And she would be great in a Star. I mean,
That's what I'm
she's
saying.
got
Remember
that
Star Wars?
She's a
darkness
great
too.
look.
we had-
She has a great look. Like,
Yeah.
she's got a great otherworldliness to her.
Yeah.
She's elegant. She's kind of punk rock. She's got a lot going on.
We had the
I'm
fantasy
excited.
draft, the Star Wars fantasy draft, a little while ago, about 2 years now. And when we had that, I had Rooney Mara on my because if she screams Sith. However,
She screams Sith. We gotta get a shirt that says
She
that.
screams Sith.
She screams Sith.
yeah, it should. Leanne Lecoteur. I know your
Yes.
name is Leanne Lecoteur, by the way, but I just like the French part of it.
Yeah.
Leanne Lecoteur. She should do that picture of She Screams Sith. However, what I think the movie's going to be. This is a prediction. I don't have any intel on it. I think that Slash Film had reported on this, and I think this is what's going to happen. The spin-off film that's coming out in 2016 will be the bounty hunter heist film about how they get the plans to the Death Star. I think that Boba Fett will be the star of that film. Whether or not he's part of the team or going, I would actually like to see him working for the Empire, trying to stop the other bounty hunters who are trying to get the planet. I would like to see Rooney Mara as a Mandalorian, also trying to get those plans, because it takes place right before Episode 4. It's a heist film. It's like Usual Suspects. That is a fantastic way to start your spinoff. You can throw in cameos from maybe from Anthony Ingruber, our possible guest later on as young Han Solo. Who knows?
But and the cool thing I think about that too is taking a Star Star Wars franchise and turning it into a thriller. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. The way Marvel does.
expanding it.
Right.
It's what Marvel changed up their genre with what they do with
Captain America,
Captain
Winter
America
Soldier.
with a Born Identity, Ant-Man, what they're doing with the spy thriller. So,
it's
do you like what they're doing with the
Yeah.
franchises?
What, with Marvel you're talking about?
No, with
Star Wars.
The way that it looks like they're taking a page out of Marvel's book here and changing it up.
I think the fact that Disney owns both is telling, because Disney does not do anything half-assed. They think everything through. They are like militarized
Right.
in the way that they approach
In a good
their
way.
content. In a great way.
Yeah.
They're super organized. They hire the best in the business. They let people have just the right amount of creative freedom without sacrificing or compromising their brand identities.
Right.
So I feel like because Disney is in charge, I kind of gives me confidence regardless. But yes, I do think that they can expand into different genres because they have that kind of a stranglehold on their brand.
I agree.
So.
The only thing they've missed so far is that measles outbreak at Disneyland.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, they didn't get that one.
Blame
Let's
rich parents who don't vaccinate their kids.
Right.
That is a whole other show.
put the creative team on that one. Riley, how are you feeling about these rumors of the cast that's coming out?
For the spinoff?
For the spinoff,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love it.
First of all, what do you think the spinoff's going to be? Second, what do you think of the casting?
Well, we had some intel, didn't we? That we didn't talk
Yeah, we can
about?
talk about that. Yeah,
We
can
had
talk.
some intel that we didn't talk about.
We didn't break. I
Slash-
had it about 3 months ago.
Yeah, Slash broke it, and I think it's true. And
From
so
Guns N' Roses? Just
Slash,
kidding.
yeah.
Slash actually broke it. Slash
He's
still
at-
playing
Kagan's
guitar.
website.
Yeah.
he actually has a very, very topical blog.
Yeah.
No, I think it's totally true. I think we're going to get the spinoff. It's going to be a heist. I think Boba Fett is going to be the lead, and I would love to see Rooney.
Yes.
cast. Period.
And is anyone saying, I mean, that it is definite that all of these actresses were testing for the same role? No. Ken, go ahead.
Yeah. I host a Star Wars podcast. There's others.
do? Is it
there's
good?
others out there.
There's other ones.
But you should listen to Jedi Alliance.
Yours, yes. I heard you're
And
good.
Maud.
Yeah.
I love Ken.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple different stories. First, it was one role, but I'm hearing today, especially with the Kate Mara kind of being on a separate one, that it could be two different roles.
Interesting.
What could be cool is Sister Siths. Sister Siths?
Sister Sith.
Twisted Sister Siths?
Interesting.
Well, the first three that I heard, that Tatiana, Rooney, and Felicity Jones are all kind of the same type.
Yeah, that could
So
be the same
Kate
role.
is the kind of one of these things is not like the other. She's like that kid in Sesame Street that's doing the hula hoop. The other ones are like playing basketball. She's kind of different.
She is, and I'm curious.
So-
I'm curious to see how this Fantastic Four thing goes because, because it could look from everything that has been said, and I've talked about it on AMC Movie Talk as well too. Like
I was there.
I have turned a complete corner on this movie. I was so excited for it. Fantastic Four, that is. I was so excited for it. I thought that even if they switched up the mythology a little bit, you trust in Josh Trank for what he did in Chronicle, that maybe we can get something really, really special out of this thing. And then too many rumors started coming out. One or two rumors, you go, it's just a select rumors here and there. But when they start coming out, and then when they ask Matthew Vaughn, so what'd you think about it? It's good. If you like Chronicle, you like it. But he didn't
like
rave about it.
Chronicle.
It feels like he has to. He feels like, he's a producer. He's got to talk. I think that if that movie is, maybe Kate Mara has a tremendous performance in it, and then you still say, who cares, even
Or
if
any
it's a
of them.
shitbox. But
Miles Teller, any of them.
let's talk about Fantastic Four for a second. And Schmoville on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitter, hashtag Schmoes Know. What do we think about Fantastic Four? I did a tweet the other day, a retweet if you thought it was going to be a disaster, and like if you thought it, favorite if you thought it was going to be it was going to save itself and be good. I'm curious to what everybody thinks out there because it's split. And Miri, what do you think? Is this thing a train wreck, or do we have a shot of it being good?
Well, it could go either way. I'm holding out hope because I like Trank and I like the cast.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people who are fans of the comics are a little upset with the direction it's going in to begin with. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel optimistic. I'm gonna hold out a little hope. I want to see a couple of trailers before I make any big judgment calls. So I think we talked about this last week. I'm still gonna maintain my optimism around it.
All right, Macoogs.
See, I kind of feel like it's almost like Superman and Man of Steel. The failure of the first couple are so fresh in our mind that we are so hopeful for the second one, and I'm sure the trailer's gonna be badass, and then we're gonna get into it and probably be disappointed. That's how I kind of look
think
at it.
so.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
You guys are a bunch of Debbie Downers.
I know, but it just for some reason.
Yeah, you might be right.
Now here, and I want to spin it. I want to spin it away from the comic.
Don't throw
book.
the dinner plate at me at dinner.
Not
you know
yet.
what I mean?
We'll wait for save that for Finstock. Yeah. Well, can I ask
Where's
you?
my dinner
I want to
plate?
ask you.
I need dinner plates.
So she said to me before it starts, she's like, "If Finstock says anything inappropriate, I'm gonna hit him in the fucking jaw." And I said,
I did
yes.
say that.
She's a lefty.
Oh yeah, I'm allowed to swear on this, aren't I?
Shit, no. Yeah, you can. So,
Well, I did say that.
Before we get into this next topic, can you give me your honest thoughts on the man known as Finstock?
Oh no!
Come
really?
on. This is a different. We
I don't
talk
know.
honest
I
here,
mean-
Miss
Honest
Jedekin.
Hour with Miri Jedekin.
I think he's an interesting guy.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna interview
That's
you now.
That's the biggest compliment he's ever gotten
I
on
think he's
this
an
show.
interesting guy.
Well, no, because it's
I-
funny when you talk to dudes about it. Of course, dudes are always saying with Finstock, it's like, yeah,
I did. I retweeted him the other day because
Okay.
he tweeted. I don't
Something
even remember.
funny?
No, it was a bit truthy.
Oh.
I don't remember what it was, but
All
I was
right.
like, you know what? I'm gonna retweet.
Was
that
it something
shit.
about your cheekbones?
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't about my cheekbones. It took me a good month to figure out what the fuck he was talking
Well,
about
shit.
because he would be like cheekbones, and I was like, what is he talking about? And then
Yeah.
he told me he's like, you notice every time you write anything, I just write cheekbones, and I was like, yeah. He's like,
Yeah, and he said that to you outside your window.
no, it was at the AMC thing. I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
what are you? Okay.
So you don't have any honest
they're
thoughts
not
yet?
That, you know.
You don't have any honest thoughts yet?
Honest thoughts? I mean,
On him.
can I wait till after this episode?
You want to
and
see what his announcement is?
Yes.
All right, fair enough.
But I do like his headwear.
The
I like
mask?
it better on Alicia though.
I mean, Alicia
wore it really well.
And Sarah
Yellow
Stratton
is her
did too.
color.
We need that Us Weekly. Who wore it better?
Yeah.
There's a movie coming out, and our review of this movie will be coming up very soon, and it is called The Humbling. It is a smaller film. It is with Al Pacino. And
Every inch.
every come on, Macuga.
That's one of your old impressions.
I can't believe none of you
Old
did
school.
hooah.
I remember that.
Old school. Okay, LaQuasto sitting on the couch. Well, I got questions as far as The Humbling goes. Now, I saw this film. It's a smaller film. It's Barry Levinson. It's Pacino. What I will say about this film, without giving too much of the review away, I'll probably wind up doing that anyway in this conversation. But he's back to form, as where a lot of him and De Niro were going through this for a little bit.
The Righteous
Righteous
Brothers?
Kill.
Righteous Kill.
Brothers.
That
That's
wasn't
better.
very good.
But no, he's been. It seems like he's been phoning it in a lot, unless he's like on Broadway or something. But in this movie,
Whereas De Niro hasn't.
well, he was for a bit, and then he got Silver Linings Playbook, and even though I think that the American Hustle was completely overrated, I thought De Niro was good in it.
Yeah.
But with Pacino, he just hasn't been there, but he still has that like electrifying presence about him. So I was,
Hooah. Come on, you got to do it.
hooah, okay.
I can't do it.
I'll take a flamethrower to this place. Ha! So we
You better not put that one in the hat, Riley, because he might outdo you on a Pacino.
Riley's good.
I got a good Pacino.
Oh, he's got a good
one.
Pacino.
Yeah, Pacino.
Yeah, Riley doesn't know what we're talking about.
What do we got?
Yeah. So
That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
with this movie, what I saw with Pacino was him back to form. However, and Miri, did you see the film?
I haven't seen it yet. I have a screener.
Okay, so
haven't seen it.
when you see the film, and if you see the film, the thing that really hurts this movie is a little film called Birdman. It's essentially the same movie, except
Really?
Birdman's 100 times better. It's
Yeah, that's a tough one.
he's going crazy inside of his head. He's an actor who was on top at one point.
I know it's a similar premise. I just thought it was a completely different.
Yeah.
No.
You know what's tough is, and I haven't seen Humbling, but you can throw it in like the same realm of, if anybody wants to make a movie about like family and football again, they're going to have to compete with the Silver Linings Playbook or until people forget about it. Same as Birdman. You can't do this juggling thing again. Same as how Cinderella Man, the year that it came out, it should have been nominated for an Oscar. It just came out early in the year, and it was a great movie, but it came out right after The Fighter. Like it was the same time, and you couldn't get another boxing movie on people on board with. It was just, you were too much.
It's true. Sorry to cut you off here, Macuga, but hey, Riley. So the Schmovil's tweeting that I guess the new X-Men cast have just been. What do we got with X-Men? What's going on with X-Men?
Yeah, you guys are chomping at the bit. I'm posting it right now.
What's going on? Tell me. Give me a story.
We got Storm, Cyclops, and Jean Grey cast.
Storm.
Who's playing Jean Grey?
Yeah. Who do we got?
First and foremost.
We got.
If I could act, I'd do it.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Should we check back in with you?
Jennifer Grey.
Here we go.
Jennifer Lopez.
Please don't say
Sophie
Sophie
Turner,
Okay.
you may know as Sansa Stark from the Little Scene Dungeon. No.
Sansa
Sophie
Stark.
Turner.
Sansa Stark.
Sophie Turner is Jean Grey.
Is that she's from
Really
Game of Thrones?
interesting. Yeah, she's
Wow.
really
Game of
she's
Thrones.
Sansa. She's
She's
the one
played
that
Sansa.
She's a great
Sansa.
actress. That's
She's
good.
very
I like
good.
the casting.
I like that.
Ken loves it.
I'm okay with that.
Ty Sheridan from Mud is
Yes.
playing Cyclops.
I love him.
Oh, I like that casting.
amazing casting.
He's not doing a Southern accent finally.
And Alexandra Shipp from the TV sequel Drumline
I don't know.
We'll be playing
I don't know her.
Storm.
Ken, that's a lizard as shit.
This is breaking news.
Was Nick Cannon in Drumline too?
You had me at Sansa and Ty Sheridan.
Yeah,
Two
I'm
of like the
loving it.
most exciting young actors right now, so that's
I
cool.
love it.
I'm in.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to read some tweets out from Schmobil. And if you want your tweets read out on the air a little later on, make sure that you hashtag Schmoes.
By the way, I'm at 10,053. So
hell
thanks,
yeah,
guys.
you are. See?
Whoa,
That's right.
Miri just blew up.
The
How I
power,
roll, yo.
Guys, I'm at Josh Macuga. I'm close
already
to
know who you are.
4,000.
FYI, here, let me just double check that.
the power of
Schmobil
Schmobil.
got me to
10K.
10,000 on YouTube. It was
I love
amazing.
that, by the way, and congratulations to Josh
Thanks,
Macuga
man.
and the Casual
Yeah.
Mafia. He made it, and your birthday's
Golf
coming
clap.
up soon.
Thursday, next
and,
week from today.
Happy
Yeah, and you
birthday.
hit
Thank you,
and
yeah.
you hit 10,000
We
because
did.
of it. Good for
Yeah.
you. That's awesome.
I mean,
Somebody
couldn't have
alert
done
the
without
Hawaiian
you.
Tropic bus. Macuga is turning 30.
I'm putting Miri Jedekin on the spot again. Miri, when are you going to be on the Casual Mafia?
We've talked
Between the
about it.
Here, I
Sheets?
think February, right?
Yeah, she's going to be one of the first episodes of season 3.
I love it.
Look out.
Yeah,
Look out.
you know what's really cool. Now here's something that's pretty awesome. JT, are you ready to give me the signal? Hold on just a second. So one of the things, as you guys know, myself, Ken Knapsack, a lot of our crew are big Star Wars fans. So we talk about rumors and we watch anything that we can with Star Wars. And I have a show on Star Wars. Ken's got a show on Star Wars. And we have been, a lot of times on both my show and Ken's show, there's a name that keeps getting tweeted to me and tweeted to Ken. And it's Anthony Ingruber all the time. It's his name. It just keeps coming up. And it's like,
It's a good name.
This guy.
and it's like, who is this guy? Who is he? And then you look and you watch him. You talk about impressionist. You watch this video that he does. If you have
Pretty
not
amazing.
checked out Anthony Ingruber on YouTube, and you check out his impressions, he's an incredible, not only impressionist. You see what's good about an impressionist. I can scream at Al Pacino all day long, but my face doesn't become Al Pacino. When you watch this
Thank
dude,
goodness. It would be really weird.
Really
I would
scary.
be sure I was on acid when I
Miri,
saw that.
and when you watch this guy, his face transforms. But then, and it's funny, and I'm going to tell him this when we talk to him pretty soon. People say, I go, look, I can do a Gary Busey impression. It doesn't
it.
mean that I'm going to be cast in the film. And then shut my mouth. This fucking guy gets cast as young Han Solo. Young Harrison Ford. It's on my brain. As young Harrison Ford in Age of Adeline. Mm-hmm. And you look, and I showed my wife. I said, come here. Who's that look like? She's like, is that, how'd they get Harrison Ford? They CGI? I'm like, no, it's the fucking guy. I'm like, look at him. And so I reached out to him. People that had said, hey, you got to get Anthony Ingruber on the show. He is on the line right now.
Yay.
Actor, impressionist extraordinaire. Anthony Ingruber, what's up, brother, man?
Hey, how are you?
It's nice to by the way, what time is it there?
Yeah, it's 3:30 in the morning. So if you hear a thud, that's just my head hitting the keyboard for the phone.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Are you drinking right now? It looks like you're having a cocktail.
Okay. No, this is soda water, just some sort of pep to keep me up.
Trying to keep up. I think the first question everyone's probably will ask you as soon as you do your press for Age of Adeline is, when did your mother have an affair with Harrison Ford?
Yeah, that's something my dad's been asking me.
Dude, so let's. I want to start with you in regards to with YouTube, because that's how we got our start and what we're doing, and obviously with your videos. When did you first say, oh, holy shit, I look like Harrison Ford, and then B, go, wow, I can really sound like this dude, and I'm going to make a video about it?
Well, yeah, that was the impression thing. Started when I was around 13, 14, because I traveled a lot, because my dad was a diplomat for the Australian embassy. Oh. And one of the things that I did whenever I used to move schools, it was always really awkward making new friends and stuff. So one of the things that I did from an early age to sort of bridge that gap between being the awkward new kid and the guy who does voices and stuff was impressions, and that was a way that I sort of get to know people and stuff, and they tend to really enjoy it as well, and it was a lot of fun to do as well. So yeah, I think I was 13 or 14 when I started doing Harrison Ford impressions in Australia, and I've actually got videos of it because my friend's like, guy, do your Harrison Ford impression. And so it's this 14-year-old kid doing this Harrison Ford, like that face, with this really thick Australian accent. So it's pretty funny. But yeah, so it was kind of around then. But the funny thing was, when I was 6 or 7, I was a huge Indiana Jones fan.
Yes.
And You know, and it started as early as then because for Halloween and stuff, and I would always just whip out the hat, or I'd be Han Solo, or so it was funny, like a full circle kind of deal.
I know you want to ask him, Macuga, how many times he's gotten laid because he looks like Harrison Ford.
I'm not gonna ask him that. I will say, great mustache.
Not on camera,
Congrats
anyway.
on your ski cabin there that you're living in.
Okay. Oh, well, I wasn't sure that the Skype was working.
Yeah. We can pick it up. We can see it.
Oh, you can see me. Okay.
Yeah, the fans can see it too.
It's a good thing you're wearing clothes.
Yeah.
To start.
All right, so you do this. So you put the first one on YouTube, and what you put it was it like 2009, 2010 when you put the first Harrison Ford one up there.
2007.
2007.
Actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was actually my mom's idea, because I finished high school and I was sort of, I don't really know what I'm going to do, and I was working at Weta Workshop, which was awesome. That did the special effects for Lord of the Rings, because we were living in New Zealand at the time.
Right.
And I met Richard Taylor, and at the time I was sort of, I really didn't know what I wanted to do with myself, but then I went there and it was really like Disneyland for me, because just seeing the amount of talent and the craft that goes into this work, I just said, this is something I'd really love to be involved with. But, my strengths lied more in performance rather than, creating CGI or anything. I don't know how to do that. So I made this sort of DVD for Richard Taylor with all my impressions on it, like the Jack Nicholson and all that kind of stuff, and he enjoyed it, and he thought it was quite good, and it was really great feedback. And then my mom said, well, Justin Bieber got found out on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So you should stick it on there. So okay.
I don't know what's scarier is that your mom knew Justin Bieber, is that she pushed you to YouTube.
she knew more about the current media than I did.
Right.
Funny.
Okay, so when you put it out there, when does it start gaining traction, and then you start getting attention for it? Like, because I eventually obviously want to lead into probably what was the biggest moment in your life, but let's save on that. Like, when you first see the hits coming, and then you start getting responses, when do you know that this thing's really starting to catch?
Yeah, I think it was a couple years ago, because I remember it was like 2008, 2009, and it had been up there for about 3 years, and I was really happy because I had about 100 subscribers, and I was like, wow, that's fantastic, and then a couple years ago they were posting about the Han Solo spin-off films, and my name got thrown up on the IGN message boards, and my Twitter sort of, people were tagging me, and I was like, oh, what's going on? And it sort of just snowballed from there. So and it was like, wow, people are really enjoying it, and people are sort of mentioning me, and it's incredibly flattering, and just very good encouragement to continue with what I was doing at the time.
Hey, can you? So we have Miri Jedekin here. She's a big Harrison Ford fan, big Star Wars fan. Could you just talk to her as Harrison Ford real quick? Like, you guys
don't have to do that.
You guys are on a first date, and you're telling her about your Age of Adeline, your audition, that kind of thing.
I'd love to
go into this Harrison Ford and just tell her how that all kind of went down, but as Harrison Ford.
But like the conversation Harrison Ford.
The conversational Harrison Ford.
No, the conversation. He was in the.
Oh, the conversation Harrison Ford.
All
All right, let the guy do it.
Sorry,
it's my fault.
Well, I was just sort of sitting around the house and not really sure what I was going to do with myself. And,
Oh my lord!
So good.
I got this phone call from my agent, and she said, there's this new Harrison Ford movie, and would you like to audition? I said, what the hell? I'm going to be one of 5,000 people, so I set up the audition, and they said, well, they really don't have anyone else because they saw it on YouTube.
Dude, so good. Well, all right. Now look, let's get into serious. Let's ask Anthony now. All right, so you get this because that's crazy, and I'll be honest with you, and like I said before you came on here, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, I'm a Star Wars junkie, and everyone's like, hey, dude, what do you think about Anthony Ingruber for young Han Solo? And I go, look, the guy is talented. He hits those notes. He looks like Solo, but that doesn't mean he can act. So I didn't know, and then I see that what the fuck did I know? You get cast in Age of Adeline. When you get cast, you had to have nailed this role, and then tell me about your experience, tell me about the movie, and then tell me about the first time you met Harrison Ford, if that happened.
yeah, it was all just sort of this insane whirlwind of events. It was just the phone call and then doing the audition and thinking, all right, hopefully it'll be all right. We'll see what happens. And then about 2 weeks later, getting another phone call that, yeah, you got it. And then that in the following month, you'll be flying out to Vancouver to film this thing. And it was just,
Right.
And it was, so it was just very.
And it's your first big movie, right?
I'm sorry?
This was your first big movie at the time.
Yeah, first big, first featured role in a big movie. And what a role.
Yeah, seriously.
My experience on set, I was very fortunate, not only with getting cast, obviously, but that the crew and the director were such kind and considerate and just very patient people, because they knew that I was, fish out of water and everything, and they sort of, they were like, yeah, hey, how's it going? And it was just a very relaxed atmosphere. And the director, Lee Tollenkrieger, is as talented as he is kind, and that's saying quite a lot. He really, it was just a very relaxed atmosphere, because I've been on sets previously where it was just very like, okay, yeah, go, and then, but it was very easy to work with them, and it was just a very positive experience and a great way to have a sort of foot in the industry. And just that is my first experience working on a film.
Crazy.
Did you have something, Mary?
No, I'm just enthralled.
When you were on set and you were acting, did they ever kind of tell you to like rein back the Harrison Ford, or?
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. First audition I did, they said, okay, you're playing Harrison. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go for gold and just do it. Every nuance and every sort of impression that I've done, I just threw it into there in about a span of 15 seconds. And they said, okay, we're gonna dial it back. But yeah, it was. I discussed it with Lee, and he said, well, you are obviously playing somebody who is so well known, and people have, studied him, and people impersonate him, as you know. Right. And you are playing him, let's not forget that. But at the same time, it's not going to be an SNL sketch. Like, it's not going to be, I'm going to walk on, hey, how's it going? Right. and do all those things. But at the same time, you do want to sort of have that in the back, like at the back of the, but it's trying to find the sweet spot between doing an impression and doing something original, and because it's not really playing Harrison in a biography, but it's playing the same character that Harrison's playing. Well,
sorry, I was going to say, so did you actually get to meet Harrison for even research? How did that go?
Yeah, well, I met him, I think on my 4th or 5th day working, because they were saying, oh, well, it's his last day, and everyone was saying, oh, have you met him yet? And I was like, no, I don't think I can, I don't know. And they said, all right, don't worry, you're gonna meet him, it's gonna happen. And it was 11:30 in the evening or something, and he was about to leave, like it was the last shot of the film. And his makeup artist, Bill, he tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, oh, have you met Harrison yet? And I said, oh, no, not yet. And they're like, oh, do you want it? And I was like, yeah, of course, but I'm not going to bother him or anything. I don't. And he's like, no, don't worry. And so it was sort of like Harrison's rap. So he finished, and everyone was sort of like, oh, that's Anthony. And it was amazing. Like I told my parents this, and they said, that doesn't happen.
Right.
Like if for a newcomer to be given this sort of opportunity, like it's unheard of. So I'm just very indebted to everyone who did that. They sort of said, oh, Harrison, have you met Anthony? And Harrison sort of looked at me, and he was like, oh, yeah, Anthony, I've heard about you. And so,
it's really good.
But it was just such a great moment. And,
yeah.
And, very and actually in the back you can see that's the photo of.
Oh, you guys, that's cool.
Oh, wow.
That's
the fireplace and everything.
Of course. All right,
yeah, my parents they did that for me.
Dude, that's incredible, man. What a great. I mean, that's you talk about making a dream happen, and the fact that you got to meet him, got to play him, which is awesome.
Yeah, and it was just such a strange turnaround from being basically unemployed to then the next week portraying the man who made you want to become an actor in the first place.
Yeah, and then once this trailer comes out, people are going to be already talking about it. Like, who's that kid that looks just like Harrison Ford? And then because I was on AMC Movie Talk when that trailer came out, and I turned to everybody and said, "Dude, look at this guy." And everyone's like, "Holy shit!" And then when you see the fact, because that's not just because he looks like Harrison Ford, you put him in. You did something in the audition that they said, "Oh, wait a minute, this is something special." So can you tell me about the movie and tell me about working with Blake Lively? And then I got another question I have to ask you.
Yeah, it was. Well, working on the movie.
Yeah, working on Age of Adeline and working with Blake Lively. Like, so how much of the movie? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you haven't seen Final Cut yet. I don't know, but
No.
how big is your role? How much can we expect to see you? Like, that, and then working with Blake Lively, I'd like to know as well.
Yeah, I also want to know about Blake
I haven't
Lively.
seen Final Cut, but I've been told that the film looks gorgeous and it looks fantastic. So I'm looking very much forward to seeing it. And I'm not quite sure how big my role will be because this is my first film and I don't know how much winds up on the cutting floor. But I'm featured mainly because, as probably seen in the trailer, Harrison sees Blake. And he recognizes her as this girl. Like he says, you look exactly like that girl, and
So wild.
and then it sort of goes back into this, this sort of flashback to the 1960s when he meets her as a young man, and then they have this, this romance in the mountains and everything. It's a great story.
And it comes out in April, yeah. In the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a question that I got to ask, and like you mentioned it before. So now, I'm sure you lost your mind when you heard of the Disney. They're going to make all these spin-offs and all this stuff was going to happen. That it opens up all these possibilities. What's the possibility here that because the rumors have been of the young Han Solo and the young Indiana Jones movies, indeed. So like, have your representation trying to get you in on these things? Have you heard anything about these things? What's the latest?
Well, yeah, it was just, I've seen on Twitter a lot of, hashtags, and shout outs and things, linking me to these films. And first of all, I think it's, incredibly flattering that people are linking me with this role. And, because it's like playing James Bond, or it's such they're both like, Han Solo and Indiana Jones, they're pop icons, and it'd be like, playing Superman or something so huge. And at this stage, it's a bit too much to contemplate, and it's a bit overwhelming. But of course, I had no idea what was going to happen at the beginning of last year. So at this stage, I'm just saying that it's very flattering, and I'm very touched. And of course, I would love to do the role. Right. At the very least, you can voice young Han Solo in Rebels. At the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that would be great, because I do love doing voiceover work as well. That's something that I also really enjoy, because I'm a big video game fan, and so yeah, I would like to do that as well.
So we've talked a lot about Han Solo and Indiana Jones and anything Harrison Ford related. I want to know what impressions or voices you like to do that aren't really getting a lot of airtime right now. Is there anything that you're like really like accents, or I don't know, because you just threw out an Australian accent that was
spot on.
Was pretty convincing.
And you said you do a Jack Nicholson.
Oh, he does a great Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. Well, it was Jack and Harrison that got me through high school, actually.
I'm sure many women said the same thing.
Well done, Miri.
She said a lot of women have probably said the same exact thing. You want to just throw another scenario at him this time, Jack?
Could you do? Let's just say Jack introduces Harrison Ford as getting a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Oscars. So Jack introduces Harrison, and then Harrison accepts the award. We'll give you
no pressure, though.
All right, no pressure.
Yeah. Jack Nicholson presenting the award to Harrison Ford.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my Lord.
Man who has achieved almost as much as I have. Mr. Harrison Ford. Oh, thanks, Jack.
Oh, dude, so good.
Bravo.
So
Thank
good.
you for doing that.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
and especially the fact that it's 3:30 in the morning there. He's probably just fucking guys, leave me alone. Okay, so before we let you go, Anthony, I want to what's next? What are you planning to? Are you moving to the States? What's the deal?
Well, I'm actually living in Holland at the moment.
Yeah.
And because I'm half Dutch actually, and my family's here and everything, and I'm just sort of enjoying the scenery and everything. You know, it's great because I was living in Toronto for 4 years.
Ooh.
Trying
know
to
about
make it
that.
as an
I'm
actor
Canadian,
and
so-
failing pretty hard.
Toronto's hard.
And then it was actually because my visa ran out that I had to leave the country.
Okay.
And I moved back here, and I was like, what am I gonna do? And then I got this. So, things changed pretty fast. So at this moment, I'm just sort of living here and enjoying being with my family again, and and just seeing what opportunities present themselves.
Are these guys going to fly you out for the premiere or what?
Yeah,
All right, good. Humps.
that's hopefully, I think that's what's been arranged.
Okay, good.
And so, I do hope I get to see everyone again. It would be great, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the film, and I hope the audience enjoys it.
Before you go, could you just say, hey Schmoville, as Harrison Ford, Schmoville, I've done the parsec run in 12 seconds and 12 parsecs.
You don't even know what it is.
Whatever. And just say, whatever, just give Schmoville some love as Harrison Ford. That's what we want.
Well, Schmoville, I got through the castle run in less than 12 parsecs. Yeah, at 3 a.m.
All right, Anthony, you're the best. And look, when you get flown in here for the premiere and everything too, you make sure you carve some time out and come and visit us in the studio live, dude. We'd love to see it. Great. Thanks again so much, man.
Wait, hang on. I just got a tweet. I have to do a shout out for somebody.
Sure.
1 second.
While he's looking for the shout out,
a guy called Outlaw Noah. He was one of the people who set this up.
Outlaw Noah is a big fan. He's a Schmoville fan. He's a big Anthony Ingruber fan. He's awesome. He did. He was the reason that Anthony and I started following each other and was able to arrange this. So see, with the power of Schmoville. By the way, and the other power of Schmoville. Look, what we were able to start in Schmoville was get Katie Sackhoff's name mentioned in as Captain Marvel and Ms. Marvel. So here's what we want to do, guys. Make sure, first of all, that you follow Anthony Ingruber on Twitter. If you're not doing that already, look at his YouTube channel. But let's start some more hashtag fun here. Let's put Anthony Ingruber for Han Solo. Let's do that. Let's make sure that we do that. Tweet it out. Go bananas with it, and let's make something special happen. Anthony, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing what you do. And Age of Adeline coming out in April. Thank you so much.
Great talking. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Anthony.
I mean, that's insane. I mean, it's insane. The dude looks
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to throw a little Larry David.
Now, Miri, let's say 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, Miri runs into a guy like that.
What are you trying to throw in here?
5 years ago, Miri runs into a guy at 7 years. Runs into a guy like that. Just the Harrison. Does that score points with you right away before you even open his mouth?
Totally scores points.
It does.
It's so cute. He's like a young Harrison Ford. I remember because I saw The Conversation a long time ago, and I didn't realize it was one of his first roles. Harrison Ford. He's so young,
right?
And we know him as being iconic and handsome, but I grew up with Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford. He was already a tiny bit older, so I had him in my head as like a more rugged man.
Right.
But when he was like a young man, he was a total babe, and so it's a natural.
And he throws that trick out there all the time. He's got it.
Yeah.
And the eyebrows, he's got serious eyebrow game. That guy.
It works.
Serious eyebrow game.
Control of the face.
I'm really hoping that Age of Adeline is awesome, and I hope he knocks it out of the park because that's always the big look.
Cool. It's so
because
hard.
The biggest fear with that Han Solo standalone movie is always who the hell do you get to play him? If this kid turns out to be a fucking solid actor, right? They'd be morons not to cast him because he can nail it. If he indeed does tune it, pull it back, and is able to be, like he said, not just the impression but the actual character,
the performance.
What was kind of cool about this kid on the on the Skype and everything was that he didn't slip in and out of the impression all the time. He wasn't trying to ham it up. He seemed like he was very on point, and he knew how to control it.
Had to coerce you.
I know.
You really had to force.
Come on, Miri, I'm trying to hit the angles.
I mean, you forced him a few. I felt a bit bad. I'm like, it is like close to 4 a.m.
But that's a pro, and he nailed it, and he did well, and he got a Schmoeville shout out. So look, that's what the Wildman does he does it to everyone that he interviews, and it's great. And he just interviewed Mae Whitman. We're gonna have that up on Schmo Plus soon. Okay, guys, so we're gonna go to break here in a second. What we want you guys to do is make sure show Anthony Ingruber some love and say, hey, dude, you were great on the Schmoes Know show. We loved, and hashtag Han Solo. Do whatever you want to do. Show him that Schmoeville love. When we get back from break, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We got so much stuff coming up. Just come back in about 5 minutes. Miri Jedekin, Josh Macuga, Kristian Harloff, Schmoes Know Movies.
Hey guys, Maria Menounos here, and I want to share my newest book, The Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness, with you. Basically, every woman always stops me and asks me how I lost 40 pounds, so I decided to put it all in one book. Everything I did to lose 40 pounds step by step, and how you can too, is in here. I did it with no time, no money, and no willpower, and now I'm going to show you how to do it too. You can pre-order it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart, wherever books are sold, and it's out June 3rd. So I hope you guys love it. I hope it helps you in your weight loss journey, and please, please tweet me and update me on your progress at Maria Menounos. Thanks.
What's up, Schmoeville? It's me, the Wildman Josh Macuga. You guys know me from the podcast and Wildman TV, but did you also know I have my own talk show? It's called Between the Sheets. I bring on comedians, TV personalities, adult stars, and we talk about everything, but mostly sex. So go to my YouTube channel, The Casual Mafia, subscribe, and see every episode of Between the Sheets. We done? Yeah, I'll be right there, sweet.
Hi guys, I'm Sarah Stratton. I'm here with my wonderful co-host JT and Finstock. And we want you all to tune in for our show. We show on Mondays box office breakdown for the Popcorn Talk Network. We talk about all the weekend's numbers, all the big movies. What else we got, JT?
We break it down, not only the numbers here, but we do domestic. We have a great game with foreign titles that Finstock runs, which is hilarious. This is your one-stop spot for entertainment and news.
I got this Jennifer Lawrence story if you guys want to hear it really quickly.
Of course.
Yeah, none of your stories are quick. We have 20 seconds, guys. I need you all to subscribe on YouTube, download us on iTunes, and, of course, watch us on Mondays.
Poof.
Stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, screenwriting, radio, acting, professional wrestling, love, life. Ken Napzok, the producer of the Schmoes Know podcast, has failed at all of these things, but his friends haven't. So join Ken as he makes his wonderful friends your friends, including some of your favorite Schmoes Know characters as they discuss life, the universe, and everything on The Napzok Files. Available on Stitcher and iTunes. Hashtag The Napzok Files to join the conversation.
Hello, Profilers! Welcome to Profiles with Malone and Mance. Every week on Profiles, we celebrate and spotlight the greatest filmmakers, actors, and actresses of all time.
We count down our 5 favorite films. We have little trivia, quizzes, special guests calling in. Basically, if you are a film geek like us, this is the show you need to be listening to or watching.
This is where we get to geek out about movies and have fun and learn something in the process. Make sure you join us every single week with fun trivia. We have special guests calling in. We even sit down with special guests on camera. So make sure you go to iTunes and subscribe to Profiles with Malone and Mance. Rate and review us. That is very important.
And you can see these beautiful faces of ours at youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network.
Go Profiles with Malone and Mance. Woohoo!
All right, right, Schmoville. We are back. The Schmoes Know Movie Show. Kristian Harloff, Miri Jedekin, Josh Macuga, and joining us at the table, the editor-in-chief at schmoesknow.com, Mark Reilly.
Hi.
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
So we had a fun interview with Anthony Ingruber. We talked news. We're going to have Finstock come in here and do some interesting stories to see what the hell's going on with that maniac. But we also have a very special guest coming in from a movie that is coming out. It's called the Atticus Institute, and it is William Mapother, which we're going to have him live in studio, as well as Rya Kihlstedt. And it's going to be it's a movie that's coming out. You guys have seen it?
It's actually on demand right now. It's in Blu-ray and on DVD.
Okay.
Watched it today. It's dark.
Yeah.
It's great. I will say
telepathy, right?
Yeah.
Telekinesis.
Oh, okay.
Technically.
All right.
I kind of wish
split hairs here.
Kind of wish I could have used some telekinesis in fantasy football this year, Kristian.
You could use telekinesis always.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be the little kid in Looper and just like blow people up?
I think Finstock rigged that whole damn thing anyway.
I'm going to transition here into the sponsor just real quick.
What do you got?
We got, so in the past year, over $100 million were won playing fantasy sports. Obviously, none of that by me, because I'm probably one of the worst. I was the worst in our league this year. DraftKings.com is America's favorite daily fantasy sports website, created by American sports fans for American sports fans. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitment, so you can play whenever you want. You can pick from a wide range of sports, including college and pro basketball, hockey, and golf, or even check out their newest sport, MMA. You can draft your teams in a minute, outscore your opponents, and cash in. New contests start every day, so you can pick your team in the afternoon and win huge cash prizes by the end of the night. Don't wait. Join in with hundreds and thousands of fantasy sports fans, just like you have already discovered at DraftKings.com. Hurry on over to DraftKings.com now and enter the promo code SHMO to play for free. DraftKings.com, SHMO, bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Enter SHMO for the free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, DraftKings.com.
Wow.
Nice.
Impressive, young man.
You're like an auctioneer.
Well done.
So
Yeah, that's good. You were practicing in the bathroom?
No.
Nice. Really good. Very impressed. In just a second here, like I said, Shmo, we're going to be talking to both Rya Kihlstedt and William Mapother about the new movie, The Atticus Institute. And we want to talk to you guys a little bit more about what's happening in Schmoville. And Miri, you're going to be joining us a couple more times in Schmoville and coming in here. What do you enjoy about your appearances here in the Ville?
Well, you never know what you're going to get in Schmoville. You never know what kind of Finstock's going to get thrown at you. It's just a lot of fun. It's fun movie talk, fun banter, and good company. It's kind of like, being at the bar with your friends. And
I'm a big fan of yours, Miri. I'm going to say that. I am.
Thank you.
No, I'm a big fan of Miri Jedekin, because the first time you came in, a lot of first-time guests come in here very apprehensive to a certain extent, and you gave me the business as soon as I walked in.
Yeah. Well, she had to.
What is the business? Define the business.
The business was sort of like, we come in here, we bust balls.
Because I'm a smart ass.
You are a smart ass, just like us.
Got thick skin.
And you held your own. Like in Rocky, when he says, all I want to do is go the distance. You went the distance, and you knocked out Apollo Creed.
Thank you. That's amazing. Wow, that's big.
Were you Apollo Creed? Is that the reference?
Me, Apollo Creed. No, I was Paulie. I was like, give me that flask of liquor.
All right, Paulie, take it easy.
Nice. Thank you for those compliments.
Yeah, it's good. Miri is absolutely holds her own, and like you said, that's why we wanted her immediately. We're like, you need Miri in here, and the fans have been asking for her, so we're glad that you're here.
Thanks, fans. You guys are the best.
I want to introduce one of our guests. Like I just said before, we were talking about the Atticus Institute, and joining us now, we have headphones. We have headphones for you, I believe, too. Yes. Okay, great.
They're on the
couch.
They're behind you.
Yes. Perfect. So Rya Kihlstedt is here with
Someone
us.
should have set that up.
I know. Cody, you're fired.
Yeah, I watched the interns. They just pointed to this couch.
Pointed up.
Yeah, they didn't do much else. So
better.
Upham, I'll kill you.
I leave the couch and it goes to hell.
Fantastic.
You were officially.
Yeah.
I'm almost in
Now you're here.
You're almost here. Now you are. Thank you for joining us. I will fire our intern for that.
Please do.
Okay, let's talk about the Atticus Institute.
Oh Lord.
The first thing I obviously want to ask. First thing is how you got involved in it. Like what? And William's joining us well too. Perfect.
We got two.
All right, we got two. So we just got to.
We come as a duo.
We got as a duo. Here we go.
Some more cans.
All right, here we go. Upham, you're in some shit, man. Upham, I'm gonna get you.
Now we go.
When our guests sit, you got to put headphones on.
Right now.
Pour-ups.
Make sure he's skulking in the back now.
Yeah.
Can you guys make sure this camera
Upham,
is
what are
on
you
now?
doing? You're killing me, Smalls. All right. Poor Upham. See,
I
Upham.
want to yank this sucker out of the wall.
Yeah, see, Upham. Now the cops are here. There you go. Upham. That's my boy. Yeah, Upham. Yeah, Upham. There you go. Very nice. Very nice.
Solving problems.
All right.
24/7.
Okay, so now we have William Mapother here, Rya Kihlstedt. We're talking about the Atticus Institute, and I guess we can ask both you guys here: is how you guys both got involved in this project, and if you guys can maybe give us a little bit of what the movie's about and how you got involved with it.
Go ahead.
No pressure. Just go.
Run.
Volume down on this.
JT, turn William
The
on, please.
movie is, they're calling it found footage. It's not really. It's documentary style.
Okay.
If you don't know anything about the movie going into it, you think it's real. Like when I first started watching it, and it didn't. I kind of looked at the thing, and I was like, "Is this based on true events? Am I missing something?"
Right.
Well, that's what's interesting about it. It's not. It's like kind of not found. There's a found footage element, but it's really kind of a documentary, a faux doc. I don't even know what you say. A faux doc.
But it's not a
mockumentary.
No, it's. I think the exact term is a fockumentary.
Exactly.
There's a new style coming to a fockumentary near you.
It's
Okay.
just a game.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a whole mashup.
You don't like it? Fockumentary.
Doing the documentary, yeah. So, William, how about yourself? So, how did you get involved with the Atticus Institute?
The old-fashioned way. I auditioned.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, that was
They
it.
sent me the script, and I really liked it. I
Yeah.
had the same reaction you did. I finished this, and I thought, "Is this real?
Right?
Is it?" I thought, well, it's not. It's clearly not a documentary straight ahead, or they wouldn't want an actor. But maybe there's something to this. So by God, I Googled it,
Right.
and nothing came up. Then I went in, and I thought this, and I talked about it with Chris. But I liked it enough that I thought I want to go in and read for this. This is really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, when I first started watching it, again, I love going into movies because I didn't watch a trailer or anything like that,
Yeah.
so I was sort of blindsided by the whole thing, and then I Googled it, and then I was like, sure, it's not the Attica Institute? Like,
Yeah, you just start. Yeah.
and then here's the one thing about movies that take place in the 70s when they throw it back is, one, how they're shot, but no matter how you dress in the 70s, you look like you just killed somebody and you're walking out with their body in a briefcase. It's just like, it's right there.
It's really good fashion.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But
Bad
it's
ties,
easy to
big hair.
overdo it though. Like one of the things I actually really liked about this film was, and you could tell it wasn't like this big glossy, blockbuster budget, but the period era. You're like, wait a minute, there was barely catering.
I think it was.
But it was kind of a convincing look at that era. Like you kind of get lost in the story because you forget that it's a period piece, which is a good sign because it means that it's effective. The period elements of it are done
It's
well.
not standing out, and you're not
Yeah,
talking. "Oh,
and
check
you
out that
were
jacket,"
terrifying.
and,
I can't even believe I'm looking at you. You're wearing lipstick. You look all pretty. I'm like, you are a scary element in this film. I don't want to
Thank
spoil
you.
anything.
I don't like you very much.
You're like the subject.
Are you
I
scared
don't
of
like
him?
you very much.
By the way,
Well,
he
I'm
gets
just fine that
scared.
you did a good
Yes.
job.
Whenever they send us screeners for horror stuff, I don't want to be part of it.
He's terrified
I
of
don't
stuff.
see horror movies.
Yeah.
You won't. But so
I can't handle them.
Well, let's speak on that then. So, but how do you deal with that then? I mean, obviously, it's your job as an actress, but still, look, if you don't like horror films, because we had the writers of The Conjuring on, and this guy lost his mind.
I walked out. I left.
He couldn't.
I was
So and I would know you're really good at being scary. If you've ever seen Lost, you know that.
Yeah, I was about to say that it's a really lovely change for me to be on the sofa with another actor in the same show and being told that the other person is
the scary
scarier,
one,
especially a woman.
Yeah.
This is a very proud day.
Well, even
Very, very
with
proud
you,
day.
even because you do that so well. But even when I saw Black Cat, and I was expecting you, I'm like, he's gonna jump through the screen and kill Chris Hemsworth or something, but you didn't. But
Well, spoiler.
But I want to ask though. So you're as an actress, and you don't like horror films. So when you're doing a scary film, how do you get yourself? Even because watching whoever you're working with and being in this vibe and knowing what you had to do, how do you prepare yourself for that?
But it's not. I mean, I'm looking at it from her eyes and her skin, and inside her, it's not at all about being scary or creating that, or I'm trusting Chris to do all of that from his side, right? I just had to figure out her insides, and
well, there was an interesting element of like torture and just when you have a test subject who has a special power and government forces get involved. I don't want to give away too much, but it's kind of like you kind of do. It's your character is kind of more interesting than just a straight up evil chick. Like there's a definite tension that happens. So I like that. I like that about the movie. I'm assuming you like that about the character.
That's what interested me.
Yeah.
So I thought it really is. I mean, the script was enough of everybody's stories.
Mm-hmm.
It's not her story. It's not the doctor's story. I mean, it really is pieces of everyone's kind of from the inside out, which I loved.
And which is sort of how, you know, like they shoot documentaries a lot of times, is that there's a one through storyline, but if it wasn't for every ancillary character that's in the movie, it wouldn't exist. You know what I mean? That's and when the movie starts, you're with his kids and you see like how he dedicated his whole life. And again, like back to the 70s kind of stuff is like, I feel like that's almost a forgotten era, because we believed that all this stuff could happen. Like the Cold War was still in its part, and we're like, who can we bring on? Is a nuclear bomb going to attack? And then this girl comes into this institute, and your people are so willing to believe that this is possible, like that something is going to happen. That when she comes in, it's sort of like a hot girl looked at me at the bar. Oh my God, this is really happening, and you're willing to buy into it, right? It's like, I mean, talk on kind of that of like, you know, if you were that person, like in that movie, how you're feeling when that thing comes in. It's
a good question. My Dr. West founded the institute because he believed that these existed, but he had been searching and searching for evidence of it, and he was at that point kind of running on fumes, faith-wise. And so when he begins to see some evidence of these traits in her, I think there's an excitement, there's a little bit of a fear. There's a bit of a sense of discovery, of having finally achieved something that you've been looking for so long. And then the fun part of that is when you realize, I bit off a little more than I could chew.
And we're talking about
that again.
Right. We're talking about the Atticus Institute, which you can get on both video on demand and on Blu-ray. And one of the things that I wanted to ask you guys as well too, in this genre. So for Schmoville, who's watching right now, what makes the Atticus Institute different? I know we said before with the style, how it's different than found footage, but what makes it different from your average horror film?
I guess I don't even think it's necessarily a horror film. I mean, I know it is, but it's not a jump out and scare, and you're not anticipating anything behind doors. It's a very slow, quiet, internal.
Well, that's the thing, because like the Babadook, what the Babadook does so well was it challenges the audience's like psyche. Right. So, and that's what I see with this film is that. For me, what I would like to see the horror genre do is to go away from, like you said, the jump scares and challenge the audience.
Yeah, like more psychological thrillers.
So with the Atticus Institute, this is that type of film.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think another way I thought it was different is along the lines of what she was suggesting, is that it doesn't announce itself as a horror, or I might even call it's a horror thriller hybrid, or just a plain thriller, but it doesn't announce itself as that way first. Chris focuses on the personalities involved, and you don't quite know what's going to happen. I also think it's unusual in that it's a period piece. There are not a lot of period pieces that involve supernatural elements. I did a terrific one a few years ago called The Burrowers, and it was a horror western. And it was kind of like it was
sounds like
two of my favorite genres. Bring it.
Sounds like all of my family vacations between 1992 and 1997.
It was Tremors meets
anything else is perfect.
Tremors plus whatever.
Right.
I can't think of it. But I think that's another way it's different. I think it does challenge the audience, not only psychologically, but it challenges the audience to pay attention more because of the shifting perspective.
Yeah. All right. I want to shift away for a second from Atticus. I want to ask you guys: are you guys? This is a movie. Obviously, Schmoes Know Movies. We're movie fanatics here, movie fans. Favorite genres in film for both of you guys? What movie? Like if you could just kick back, not have to work for a little bit, and just watch a whole bunch of movies, what would you watch?
Well, new or anything.
Whatever. What genre? You like comedies?
Suits your fancy.
I love anything Peter Sellers has.
Yes.
Well said.
Oh yes.
The party all day, every day.
Yes.
The party
all day, every day.
And Chauncey Gardner.
Being there.
Thank you, being there.
Being there's amazing.
Little Strangelove.
Dr. Strangelove, which we did just re-show to our kids.
That's amazing.
Not re-show, show to our kids with a whole build-up, and it's this great movie.
And how they react? Did they care?
20 minutes in, my son was
Done.
like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough.
That's how I feel my daughter's going to react to Flash
he's
Gordon.
playing how many characters in this?
Yeah.
30? I know he's. I mean,
thought he played all of them.
Yeah, he
is the
plays
whole
like.
thing black and white?
It's the age of the iPad. I know. And I feel you're a huge David Fincher
What
fan.
you should
Am I
probably
right?
do to like bring him in is put the movie on YouTube with a girl with opening Disney toys before it, and then have them watch it like, oh,
That is all the rage, man. Those little toy reviews. I don't know.
That's it. William, are you a
Blowing
big
up
David
YouTube.
Fincher fan?
I don't know. Anybody who loves movies, it's difficult not to admire Fincher's craft.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
my answer to your question would be comedies.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite comedy of all time? If you had,
Comedies are really
if you
hard.
had to put you on the spot.
Favorite question.
One
I couldn't answer
if
that
that it was
question.
on TV when you got home that you couldn't help yourself but to keep it on TV.
Oh, there's so many of those.
Some Like It Hot.
There you
Great
go.
answer.
Great answers from you guys.
Anything
Amazing.
with Jack Lemmon, really. I
Yeah.
mean,
That's for sure.
anything with Jack Lemmon.
Another one. His Girl Friday.
Oh, I love that movie. It's so funny.
Riley, you're
I
loving
always
these
say that I'm the
answers.
girlfriend.
Right, this is classic.
These are all my like movies.
These are cinephiles right here.
Yeah,
They know their stuff.
Oh, I got
You guys
another
are
one for
great.
you.
Let's
The
do
other
it.
very subtle Rules of the Game.
Okay.
1939 Jean Renoir.
That one I have not seen.
I haven't seen
I don't think I've seen that either.
Yeah.
Rules of the Game.
Another
You just
one.
stumped us, movie
Yeah, you
show.
got it.
No, you guys should. It's a classic.
on
Here's
the list.
another one.
Rules of the
With
Game.
Nail and I.
With Nail.
Yes.
With Nail and I is fantastic.
Are
like
you
that
kidding me? Bruce Robinson?
It's-
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Richard E. Grant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, put it on the top of your queue.
That's it.
All right.
Have you seen that?
Schmoville, if you're listening, write these down.
Yeah,
Write
with
these
Nail-
down.
with
Yeah,
Nail
and
and
watch them on
And will you
replay.
tweet again in case I forget? Just tweet me. I need to
Well,
catch up on these two.
Uncle Monty.
I do. Well, I wanna ask-
Uncle Monty.
He's the best.
As a child, I used to weep in butcher shops.
I love when he's like,
Wow.
I find a fern carrot infinitely more beautiful than the rose. And it's just so...
Miri,
Richard E. Grant
sell
is
it.
cute.
Sell it.
So good.
Yes.
Very hot.
Exactly.
Mary, doing it hot.
Well, he said-
okay.
He said with Nell. With Nell all day. But also, did you ever see How to Get Ahead in Advertising?
Yes.
Yes.
So amazing. I keep talking about it. Nobody knows what I'm
No,
talking
it's
about.
also- there you
Everyone
go.
has
It's
to
also
see that
Richard E.
movie.
Grant.
Also Richard E. Grant.
Okay.
Brilliant.
All right. Let's shift a little bit now.
Yeah,
Now, one more shift before I let you guys go because I want to know. So, what do we got coming up? What's in the pipeline, William? Right. What are you guys working on next?
I am shooting a little movie next month here and working on producing a TV show and
Ooh.
Cool.
wrote a short that I'm going to direct.
Okay.
Nice. Right on.
So, you know, nothing much.
Are you on Twitter?
In the meantime,
I'm trying to be on Twitter.
You should be on Twitter. We'll get you some followers. Are you on there right
Are you
now?
on there and you're just not tweeting, or you haven't
I am
set it up yet?
learning that, no, I exist in the Twitter world.
What is your Twitter handle? So
Twitter handle.
Schmoville can-
Schmoville will say hi.
I believe at the real Rhea.
At the Real Rhea.
At the Real Rhea.
And
RYA.
William, what do you got coming up in the pipeline?
That tells you everything.
Well, as you said, I was on Black Hat.
Yep.
Came out. And then I'm on an episode of Constantine.
Oh, good.
Nice stuff.
Yeah, great show.
In
Yeah.
about a week and a half, I think, on the 30th.
Okay.
And then I have a couple other indies I did that are in post.
Okay.
Great.
And I'm writing something.
Nice.
And I also want to mention that I'm the co-founder of Slated. If you guys are movie buffs,
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
should love. Do you know what Slated is?
No. Please tell us.
Oh, it is the only film finance marketplace. So as opposed to Indiegogo and Kickstarter, where people who invest are actually donating, and in return they get hats and discs and T-shirts, Slated is the only one that allows investors to actually invest
and
in
make money on
projects.
them.
So we
Okay.
connect independent filmmakers with investors around the world.
Wow.
So we have tens of thousands of users and several thousand projects, and then we have, and the users are sales agents, distributors, agents, writers, directors,
awesome.
What's
agents.
Slated?
What's
Slated.com?
Slated.com.
Slated.com.
And then investors come and they can filter all the projects and look for projects they care about, the genre, the budget, the language.
beautiful
Well,
idea.
and all right, well, make sure you check that out. Are you on Twitter as well?
Yeah,
too? Okay.
at William Mapother.
Okay. Check.
I got a real quick idea.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are on video on demand. You're on DVD. You're on Blu-ray. What you guys should do is set up some those flash mob kind of things where people are buying your DVDs and then you show up and you scare the shit out of them.
That's it. Last question of the day for William. When will we be fighting Liam Neeson in a movie?
When will I be what?
Fighting Liam Neeson in a movie.
May. 2016.
Perfect, guys. Make sure
2016.
you check out the Atticus Institute. Get it on DVD and Blu-ray now, as well as video on demand. Guys, thank you so much for joining
Thank you
us.
for having us.
Congratulations, guys.
Yes, it was
Thank you
very
very
excited.
much.
And guys, we're going to break. When we be back, the Finstock announcement is coming your way. Schmoes No Movies.
Good Lord.
DC movie news. I'm Adam Gertler.
I'm Roxy Stryer.
I'm Johnny LaQuasto. We are your weekly source for all news and rumors related to Warner Brothers' upcoming slate of DC movies. There's a lot of them coming.
Yes, and we're playing with the toys on the table right now, paying attention to Adam, of course.
That's an Adam West bobblehead. What other show can offer you that? This is true. There's a lot of movies coming from DC and Warner Brothers over the next few years. We have to wait till 2016 till they get here, but we're going to talk about them week after week. Rumors upon rumors upon rumors.
And make sure you find us on iTunes and YouTube at Popcorn Talk.
And we also embrace awkward silence.
You found the Jedi Alliance on the Popcorn Talk Network, the celebration of the greatest saga ever told.
Where can you find us? Glad you asked. You can subscribe to us on the YouTube page, just search Popcorn Talk, and we're also on iTunes, just search Jedi Alliance.
And if you're on iTunes, subscribe, rate, and review. Follow us on Twitter at Jedi Alliance SK and the Popcorn Talk. Don't forget we also have Instagram.
And Facebook, so give us a like and a follow, and like some more, and then press like.
Please continue to listen to the Jedi Alliance because many Bothans died to bring us this information.
Poor Bothans.
Hello, we're the Marvel Movie News Team. My name is Matt Key.
I'm Meredith Placco.
And I'm Matt Cook. You can join us here every Thursday night where we discuss and dissect all the Marvel movie news from the week. The name pretty much says it all.
We also talk television, everything from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Sony, Fox. If it's going on in the comic world and the movie world in Marvel, we have it here.
So tune in and nerd out. It'll be fun. It'll be a great time. You can catch us on youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network or find us on iTunes and subscribe to the podcast.
All right, so let's get into this. The celebrity impression dating game.
If you were going to impress my mother the first night that you picked me up for our first date, what would you do?
Okay.
Hey, Kristian, it's me, Al Pacino. I'll tell you what, I like moms, I like daughters. Hooah! Christian Petrie, this is the ultimate warrior. And I would take the rocket ship to the moon to show your mother that the warriors would care for you.
Hi, it's Woody Allen. How you doing? Well, first of all, you're a daughter to your mother, so I'm already interested. We might have to get a legal contract. I've had history with that before. So we might have to get some lawyers involved, but I can't wait to date you.
Well, I would take you to the happiest place on earth. And we go on rides. My name's Mickey Mouse, huh?
Oh my God, Kristian, how you doing? It's Harvey Firestein.
What do you prefer, dogs or cats?
Well, I'd have to pick a dog because the cat might eat me.
What would I pick?
Oh my God.
Well, what would I pick? I can't even pick if it's a dog or a cat because I'm leaving this round.
Well, considering I ate it. Well, considering cats.
All right, Schmoville, we are back. The Schmoes Know Movie Show. Kristian Harloff, Josh Macuga, Miri Jedekin joining us on the show.
What up?
Miri, it's going by so fast.
So fast, I can't even believe it.
Yeah, guys, we got a lot of cool stuff.
I'm not even drunk.
Not yet, not yet. Guys, we got a lot of, wait, that's the after show. We got a lot of cool stuff going on.
I am a cheap date.
By the way, if you do not know this, if you go to any one of our videos on YouTube, you will see that we have a merchandise store that has, we have Marvel shirts, we got DC shirts, Star Wars shirts, Schmoes Know shirts, and we're going to be doing some limited shirts over the next 2 weeks. But we just had a limited shirt that ran for 2 weeks. It was the Star Wars Schmoes Know. Yeah. And you guys are starting to get those shirts, and the contest is going to begin now. Ken, what's that email address that you set up? I know you weren't prepared for this, but we set up an email address.
Ken's drinking his Dr. Pepper. He's just having a good time.
For the podcast a while ago. What was that email address?
schmoesnopodcast@gmail.com.
So it's schmoesnopodcast@gmail.com.
I'll double check that.
All right. I think it's schmoesnopodcast@gmail.com. Here's what you guys are going to do. If you were one of those people that bought one of those limited edition Schmoes No shirts, you will take a picture of yourself, do something creative, take a picture of yourself, take a selfie, do a picture, and if it's
green screen something.
It's the most creative
But make
picture.
sure you wear pants.
Yeah, well, it depends on what Finstock wants. It's the most, whatever the most creative one is.
just
You guys
saying.
are going to win.
You do have to spell it out.
Blu-ray sets.
Sometimes
You
in
gotta
my
listen.
life.
You got to listen to this. Blu-ray
Sorry,
sets.
my bad.
Posters. You're going to have Mark Ellis's autographed copy of Get to the Castle, and the grand prize, you are going to be a guest on the Schmoes No podcast. You will, for a half an hour, we are going to interview you. Half an hour. Half an hour.
15 minutes.
Half an hour. That's that. Look,
Andy Warhol said everybody gets 15. You're giving them 30.
Yeah.
This is what Schmobil deserves. And
Well
they bought
done,
this.
Miri.
They bought this. Move your,
Boom.
come on, Wolverine, move your arm. But like I
They're
said,
going extinct.
when you get this shirt, it is something special. So anyway, guys, the
IRS is breathing down my neck like it's some
here
kind
we
of
go.
personal vendetta against Bobby Finstock. It's Bobby Finstock. No.
oh, pickpocket
Bobby
economics.
Finstock.
Here it
No.
comes.
We've been waiting for
Bobby
this for
Finstock.
a week. The man, the myth, the legend. A lot of problems happening with this guy. Mike, if you don't know, if you're brand new to the show, in 2012, this maniac came to the show, and Ken Knapsack almost had a heart attack when he joined. Mark Ellis almost had a heart attack when he joined, and he's become something of a little myth. He's the host of Box Office Breakdown.
He's got 99 problems, but a poof ain't one.
Right, and he's had a lot of problems. Look at me. Look, I can tell. I've known this guy for a while. There's a lot of problems going on. All right, turn the music down, JT.
This guy's disturbing my life.
Wait. Well, who is?
This guy. The guy.
Yourself.
Yeah.
All right, so all right, let's get into this. Now, we're going to be quiet here for a second.
Okay.
We need you.
What do you think about
I thought I was supposed to be quiet.
He's just
you going to like Utah and like you sit back on a fireplace and like on a bearskin rug and like roll like dice or something and watch the movie. So you shouldn't say that to her. What I really want to say to you is, what I should say is, hey, you're really great at AMC movies and you're very informative. That's what he should say, but Bobby doesn't say that. Tom says that.
Okay, so
this is ridiculous. The guy's got the IRS breathing down his neck, but if the IRS wasn't breathing down his neck, but it's my thing. It's the bills come to my house. The bills come to Tom's house. It's bizarre stuff. And then he created a little doll. He possessed him like Chucky.
Wait, who you're
talking? But he needs that doll. That doll's cool. Yeah, it's good. It's a good time.
Wait, so you're talking
this
about
is lunacy.
This is lunacy.
Are you okay, Smeagol?
Wait. This is Smeagol and
The guy's disturbing my life.
So you're
he thinks the JTI trial.
Wait, what about the JTI trial?
It was Tom who defended JTE. This guy thinks he wasn't.
Who's this guy?
He says I wouldn't be on the thing. Finstock.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so we're getting to, okay. So give me a breakdown here. So what I'm getting from this?
Yeah.
What I'm getting from this is that you are having conflicts with being Finstock.
Yeah, he's disturbing my life.
Whoa, you got problems, Gavish. Well, this is interesting.
Who's your precious? Are you okay?
The guy brings home chicks.
Who does? Finstock.
Yeah, Finstock.
Okay.
And they're crazy, and they don't leave in the morning.
Okay.
Tom brings home chicks. They do the same thing, but they leave in the morning.
Right.
It's a big difference.
Okay. Well, what's the main difference between Tom and? Well, what do you want to say? Is there anything big announcement you want to make here? What's the big announcement?
This guy's a fan of like the 2000 Spanish Paralympic guys. You ever heard of them?
Finstock is or Tom is?
Yeah, Tom is. No, Finstock is.
Okay.
See how
you don't even know.
You don't even know anymore.
Basically, what they're doing was cheated. They made believe they were like handicapped and won a gold medal. I don't favor that. Tom doesn't favor that. Okay.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nuts.
All right.
Bizarre.
So give me a breakdown here. What should we expect? Give me an ultimate.
Miri and I are both utterly perplexed.
We're all confused right now. What? Give us a break.
Mental conundrum.
You're faking it. I'm genuinely confused.
I don't know what's going on.
He thinks that Box Office Breakdown's his show, Finstock. But it's not going to be anymore.
Okay. So what's going to happen?
Be Tom's show.
So Tom's going to have it. So give us a
Tom
breakdown.
needs to come back into life, into like real life.
So give us a final. What's the final?
It's over for Finstock for a little while, maybe forever, possibly forever. I can't wear the mask anymore. It's heartbreaking, but it's gonna end. And I'm sorry to all the fans, but he's gonna have to be Tom for like.
So wait. You're going to retire the mask?
Yeah, the mask.
Is Finstock dead?
No, he might be dead.
Well, so
finally.
I gotta look. You know, I don't want to be the guy who just keeps making like these Japanese schoolgirls giggle. You know what I mean?
All right.
Why is that a bad
so
thing?
give us so give us a final. What's the final? Whoa.
Oh
Whoa!
My God, of review.
Whoa! It's Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, it's Francis Ford Coppola in Godfather 3.
It feels good.
Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, he's dead for now. He's going to be maybe dead forever. And I think people are going to start seeing the real Tom. Like, I'm going to start talking, instead of like commenting on Mary's cheekbones, I'm going to comment on like, her insight on movies.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
So from now on, let me get this straight. So from now on, you are Tom. So Finstock's dead.
Yeah.
Wow.
But is this like a soap opera where he comes back to life only with a different face?
No, can't you see?
Finstock's dead. So Tom Dagnino. So because people don't know Tom Dagnino. You're very educated on film. You know stuff.
Super educated.
I want to put the mic on JTE.
It's a sad
co-host. JTE, yeah, your co-host. So how do you feel about your new co-host, Tom Dagnino?
It's kind of like finding out the Patriots deflated their balls.
Wow. He's been waiting for that all night. He's been
got to prove people right.
So,
we're going to see how it goes.
Can I say? I understand that. Can I tell Schmoville to this? This is going to be the nail in the coffin. Can I have them hashtag Finstock's dead?
Yes.
Wow.
100%.
Wow.
Yep.
Hashtag Finstock's dead. R.I.P. Finstock. Ken Knapsack, hearing the news, put on Ken's mic. Ken is drinking. How do you feel about Tom Dagnino officially joining the show?
You know, this is 2 years too late for me, but also at the right time. I love Tom. Tom's one of my favorite people at parties.
Yeah.
This is the man who at 3 a.m. in a 7-Eleven at Comic-Con this year, we yelled at a gangster to try our load of Doritos, and we bonded over that.
Yeah.
I love Tom. Finstock has always been a bane in my side,
Right.
a thorn in my side.
Bane is perfect name for that. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is I welcome this.
Miri.
I was going to say Miri, who represents all of the ladies in Schmoville right now.
How you feeling about?
Yeah, because you've been a Finstock hater.
No, I've never been a Finstock hater. I've been a Finstock questioner.
There you go.
Hashtagging Finstock's dead is going bananas right now.
I did not have I haven't had that much interaction with Finstock, but I prefer movie insights over cheekbones.
So you're liking this
So
Tom.
I'm okay.
You're liking
Movies,
Tom Dagnino.
cheekbones. I love a good set of cheekbones, but I like movies more.
But but seriously now, as a woman, you'd rather hear what Tom Dagnino has to say than rather what Finstock has to say.
Yes.
Okay.
I would actually. I mean, that's not to say that I want to see the humor and the whimsy. Maybe
I've known him for a while. You're not going to get the humor's going to still stay with Tom.
Then great. That's all. Then great. I think he should do what makes him happy.
But Tom, let me ask you a question now, because you want to be referred to as Tom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tom. So let me ask you this question. So it really was, all jokes aside,
Or the fun generator. Fun generators too.
Fun generator. Okay, so listen.
Or big vocabulary.
All right. Well, listen now. Okay. So you're walking around Comic-Con, and you're walking around wherever you are, and people screaming Finstock. After a while, it bothers you just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Because nobody knows me.
Right.
I mean, they know him as this like wild sex addict who makes like crazy jokes and stuff like that.
What's the fate of?
So wait, are you going to stop posting pictures of large gluteus maximus?
Yeah, I've stopped that. I've quit that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. That's true. I haven't seen one in a little while.
The problem is...
It's the only thing I liked that he did.
Well, you know what, Tom? So I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
Finstock is Tom.
Yeah.
Tom is Finstock.
Right.
But when Finstock is Tom, he doesn't let Finstock be Tom, so Finstock's got to take a hike.
I don't know what you mean, but I get it.
Is this like Ed Norton and Brad Pitt in Fight Club when they both the buildings
it's Nicolas
at the
Cage and John Travolta.
But Tom, I want to ask you a question. You're going to let you start the table now.
Yeah.
So a lot of things happening in the world of movies. You're the host. Now, you're the new host of Box Office Breakdown,
Yes,
by the
I
way.
am.
Congratulations
I'm happy
for getting that.
You got a new show.
Yeah.
What's going on in the world of movies that we should be talking about right now? Big things, whether it be box office, whether it be movies that are coming out, things that you think. Look, here's the thing with Tom, and not Finstock. This was Tom. Mm-hmm. Tom called Bradley Cooper getting nominated for an Oscar, which I didn't see coming. He said that American Sniper was going to crush. I didn't see that coming. He actually knows. The thing is about Tom, he knows his movies.
Does.
So that's why I'm glad that Tom is here, because you and I have had a lot of conversations.
If I can add on that real quick, is that I spent a lot of time with Tom at Comic-Con.
Right.
And I learned more about movies and about a person that I had no idea about. And Ken and I and Mark, those late nights after the parties were over and we were like huffing back to the hotel, drinking, stopping at bars, stopping at 7-Elevens. We got to know Tom.
Right.
And he's a beautiful human being underneath that mask. And it's about time that he took it off, in my opinion.
I do have one more question before you get into movies, because the fans are asking. What happens to little Bobby?
See, I said he corrupted this guy who was Little Tom at first.
Oh.
And then he corrupted him in Little Bobby. The mask came out of the woodwork.
All right, so it's possible Little Tom. All right, let's get back into movies here. So what's something that we should be talking about movie-wise? What do you think? What's going to be the biggest surprise, do you think, in the next couple of months? What should we be looking out for? What stinks? What do you got for us?
I'm telling you, I think everybody's going to be pleasantly surprised by the Point Break remake.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Wait.
It just shouldn't be called Point Break.
Nobody.
I agree. Miri's a Point Break fanatic, by the way.
I am, and I was on the set visit.
Here's your first order of
Austria.
business. Sure. Your first order of business. Convince Miri Jedekin that this should be called Point Break.
Ooh.
I can't do that.
He can't. He agrees with me. We talked about this
Point
already.
Break trivia, but I technically agree. But the movie's
some
shot
Point
in
Break
10
trivia.
different countries. I mean, there is wingsuit stuff. I mean,
The
this is pretty
wingsuits,
looking.
the wingsuit stuff
This
looks
is
pretty
beautiful.
cool. It's just X Games. It's X
Yes,
Games.
you're right. But can like the documentary / like GoPro theatrics, is there a story in there? And that's what people are looking for, because the Point Break had a great story and it worked, and they shot it in
And it had
Venice for like
Swayze.
$10.
Right.
And
So, well, why do we care about this movie? Why should we care about the remake? Because it went through a lot of
Edgar
problems.
Ramirez.
A lot of problems. Gerard Butler at one point gone.
It did. It did.
X Games stuff and all that. Why do we care about this movie?
It's directed by this guy, Eric,
And we talked to Gerard Butler at the bar about Point Break.
It's directed.
I
Yes, we
interviewed
did.
that. I interviewed that guy, the director.
Erickson Corey is a good guy.
All right.
He is a big commercial guy. Does all these like extreme sport things, that's a plus. He cinematographer for Fast and Furious, the original.
Yeah.
Which is
great. That's a great
the
movie.
first one's fun,
Yeah.
of course. Which
Yeah.
is the original Point Break remake.
Yeah, with
so to
course.
speak. It'll help my pockets if you go see it too. But that being said, I think the movie itself is going to be a thrill ride, and it's in a summer full of superhero movies, or I should say, 2015 full of everything.
Yeah,
all these big giant action movies with names attached to it and superheroes and Star Wars and yada yada yada.
Don't you yada yada yada.
He just said Star Wars, yada yada yada. I mean, that's going to be a breath
Where's
of fresh
Upham, by the
air.
way?
Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Yada yada yada.
Ups. So what do you still have those questions that I had you do last week? Yeah. Okay, bring those up. Now, here, I had Upham, the artist formerly known as Cobster. By the way, who I will say, Cobster, if you guys don't know, Cobster was our intern for a long time and then was our associate producer. And Cobster...
he is.
Well, he is, but he's left the show. He's going to leave the show.
He's on a hiatus.
He's going to be gone for a little while, probably until like April or May or whatnot. Cody... I have to
trying
give
to
him,
further his life and education.
Listen, I have to give Upham a lot of props here.
Oh, he's the best.
This dude, he put
He
on...
runs the social network for Guilty Movie Pleasures.
He runs popcorn,
If
and
you
I
went
really
to Schmo
appreciate
Plus,
it.
you go to Schmo
Thanks,
Plus, and you look at... There's a movie called Downfall that everybody... There's a scene with Hitler when he's going bananas, and it's been done like throughout the last couple of years, and it's blown up with these videos. And Upham put together this video of Cobster leaving the show. Dude, Upham, did you come up with all this stuff by yourself?
That one, yeah.
Listen, man,
He's a funny dude.
He's really funny because when the best lines, and I haven't talked to you about this yet, was "Shut Up, Gary" was amazing. The Dexter thing and the fact that you look like Captain America before the super serum is great.
He's scrawny Rob Lowe.
You're Steve Rogers.
Dude, you really crushed it. You did a great job, and you're going to be handling Schmo Plus. And the thing is, too, this is what we do on the show. When look at what happened with Jeté. Guy was a bumbling intern, and then Cobster's actually here. He showed up. That's nice.
There he is.
Yeah, we'll talk to Cobster before the end because Cobster's going to be gone until around May.
Great set of shoulders.
Cody, now you're in charge here, buddy. You came up with a couple questions. And you're going to ask the panel here, and then after we're done with these series of questions about the movies coming out or whatever it is, Mark Reilly and I are going to get down in the impression off. But let's start with some of your questions. What's the first topic?
Okay. Andrew Garfield is Spider-Man. Do you want him in the new Marvel Universe if they put it in there, or do you want them to recast it?
Do we want Andrew Garfield in the new Spider-Man? Do we want him recast or someone new?
Well,
Miri, go ahead. You start.
I don't know. I feel like I'm torn because I really like Andrew Garfield, and one of the things I liked about this new iteration of Spider-Man, one of the few things I've liked, is him. and Emma Stone and their chemistry. So on one hand, I wouldn't mind seeing him continue his role and maybe do it in a better film.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I feel like maybe those waters have been soiled, and maybe I want somebody new. So I'm torn.
I agree with Mary. I'd like to see some new blood there. I like Tobey Maguire better.
But you wouldn't want to. But you wouldn't want to see him in the new movie.
I don't want to.
No, not again. No. He wouldn't do it.
No, I'm gonna go against. I think the only thing that was redeemable about the two films was Andrew Garfield.
So you'd want to see Andrew Garfield in the new movies?
Yeah, definitely.
Listen, I like Andrew Garfield very much and thought he was a great Spider-Man, but there's no way you can have him in the Marvel universe because of this reason why. Contracts. It would be way too expensive for Marvel to put him in those movies. It would make a lot more sense if they do get Spider-Man back to hire someone, whether it be who's the kid from Mud? What's his name? Ty Sheridan. You put Ty Sheridan
Miles Teller.
Miles Teller at this point is getting too big. I think someone maybe along the lines of what's the kid from even Logan Lerman.
Logan Lerman would be good.
Someone along those lines.
Garfield's a little too good looking for it. I think.
Well, no, but I like him in it. But the problem, but your contract, you're going to steal his contract.
Yeah, Logan Lerman's a good call.
Yeah, you got to steal his contract. So you got to spend too much money on it. If you bring a new Spider-Man in, it's some unknown or someone who doesn't have a contract. You can sign them to 5 to 6 years. Garfield's got too much baggage at this point. And he's 30-something years old.
Too bad the guy from Kick-Ass was Kick-Ass because he'd be a good Spider-Man.
That guy is about as exciting as Miri's coffee.
He can play it.
Did you watch Godzilla?
Don't diss my hot beverage.
I want to see what he does as Quicksilver first.
Thrilling.
All right, Ups. What do you got next?
Bigger Oscar snub for Selma. David Oyelowo for missing Best Actor or Ava DuVernay for missing Best Director?
JT, you're allowed. Just because he's getting mic time doesn't mean you don't have to put his microphone on. The biggest snub for me out of those two, I'm going to say David Oyelowo. I did think that she did a fantastic job directing, and it was a film overall that should have been recognized for acting, directing, and Best Picture, which Best Picture did get. But David Oyelowo, that dude transforms. And if you see Most Violent Year, by the way, he is good in it. However, his accent is not great in that. And in my review, I'm like, but in Selma, that dude is Martin Luther King Jr., man. And it's not even his speeches, Martin Luther King Jr. It's different speeches they had to write, and you believed it was actual speeches. So I say David Oyelowo.
I think for me, it goes to the director simply because you took. Everybody thought it was going to be a Martin Luther King biopic to a certain extent, right? And David Oyelowo. Oyelowo.
Oh,
that's how you pronounce it in Nigerian. I watched Jimmy Fallon. No big deal, guys. Don't cross your eyes at me, Miri Jedekin.
Wow.
Cross my eyes whoever I want to. This is a democracy.
She turned.
This is Schmover!
She turned this speech, this whole thing. She made this a beautiful picture, and I thought that honestly one of my favorite movies of the year was Selma.
Okay.
Selma for sure, and I thought she should have been nominated for sure. That doesn't go to sell anything that David Oyelowo did.
It looks beautiful though too because the cinematographer is, I believe, the same guy who did Ain't Them Body Saints, which is also beautiful. He's like a young up and coming cinematographer, so it also looks great because that's his lens. He makes everything look really rich and gold and beautiful. I am going to agree with you. I'm going to say David Oyelowo. Oyelowo, because I think you're right. I think his performance will go down in history. I think it's a beautiful, intimate performance. I also think that there were some issues with accuracy, and I know there's been a lot of conversation about this.
That's not his fault.
No, that's what I'm saying. Right. I think that he kind of transcends that. I think it almost doesn't matter. Yes, LBJ was actually, in reality, much more supportive, apparently, of Martin Luther King from what I've been reading.
You listen to NPR.
I do, and I also read up on it because there was so much talk. I wanted to know some stuff. So I went to Google.
Tom, sorry.
No, I think his performance was absolutely stellar. I do think he was snubbed, especially when you look at some of the other.
Yeah, Tom.
There was a lot of good,
those two out of those two. Out of those two, who got snubbed?
David Oyelowo.
Yeah. So why? How come?
I mean, he was a standout of that movie. He controlled the whole movie. When he was on screen, he didn't care who else was there. Even Coretta Scott King, whoever played her. I mean, fantastic stuff.
That chick.
Yeah.
You know what was? If you guys listen to some of the interviews that David Oyelowo has given since,
you just like to say that.
No, he is brilliant in an interview. He's a force. He's a great guy.
He is super articulate.
He does a lot. Okay, so I think that so far, it looks like David Oyelowo, for the most part, is sorry, Macuga.
No.
All right, Upham's Corner. What do you got, Ups?
All right, so I got some heat for this one last week when I brought it up to some people, but think about it. Who will have a bigger opening weekend?
Opening weekend.
Avengers 2 or Star Wars Episode 7?
Star Wars Episode 7.
I don't know if you can jump into that so fast.
I think Star Wars.
Opening weekend we're talking about here, not overall.
Weekend?
Not overall. Opening weekend.
Really? You think Avengers before Star Wars? I think it's going to be tight.
Let's start with Miri. Let's start with Miri. Miri,
I think Star Wars.
Miri jumped off right away and said Star Wars will absolutely have the opening weekend.
We're just saying domestic, right?
We're just saying domestic. Yeah.
I'll tell you why. First of all, I think it's going to be a close race. I don't think it's going to be like a huge landslide difference. I just think that Star Wars, if you go globally, I know that the Avengers movies make loads of money and everybody's familiar with them. Star Wars has a lot of legacy. It has a huge universe around it. So does, I know, the Avengers, but I really do feel like there's Star Wars has the ability to like permeate into many different cultures, and I don't know that the Avengers is quite at that level. It's close. I just think Star Wars is going to take it.
Let me respond to that one, because strangely, everyone automatically
thinks
Avengers. They knows what I think. They're going to say Star Wars. Of course, he's going to say Star Wars for opening weekend.
You think Avengers?
I think Avengers. I'll tell you why. Because I'll tell you why. Hold on, wait.
As I just stepped into the microphone, I get to hear the Christian finger.
Because I want to tell you why. Because here's the thing. The difference is, your point is, you have to remember that Avengers almost became the most profitable movie of all time.
Yes.
And a sequel, anytime a sequel happens, like even if it's Hangover 2, it does more than the first one. Opening weekend, I think overall, no-brainer. I think Star Wars wins overall, because with overall, in December, you're going to have more people when it comes out on December 18th. People are going to go back and see it over and over again. As where eventually, with the summer movie season for Avengers, something's going to overtake it because it's so crowded.
But what about Star Wars being against type in December? Like it's like against type. Like the stuff that comes out in December isn't.
It's going to crush. It's going to crush.
Exactly.
People waiting online for Star Wars right now.
Yeah. So Tom, go ahead. What do you say?
Let me break something down to you here real quick. The 2010 census, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In the spot where you put religion, there was enough people who put the Force on there.
That's actually true.
Yes.
Where Star Wars conquered the universe, by the way, a great book actually talks about that. That's very true.
They put it on there, and it's like the Force, and now they have to legally they have to put it. It was like 10%.
Right.
So if you ask me, Star Wars by probably a landslide. And I think
opening weekend.
I like this Tom.
Yeah.
I like this Tom character.
I also think it's going to be the first movie to probably break $1 billion domestically.
Wow,
we talked about that too.
That's crazy. Okay, so
now here's my, and this is going to be a callback to American Sniper. Red states love Star Wars.
Yes,
because you have all these adults that grew up with Star Wars and are just waiting for. I mean, you're talking about my brother who doesn't go to movies in theaters ever because he's got 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're talking about my mom and dad who rarely go to movies, and when I told them what movies to go see, they're like, "We went to see American Sniper, blew our minds." Guarantee you my dad will go to see Star Wars in the theaters. Guarantee, and probably on open weekend. I'm talking about all these people that will be like, we'll wait for Avengers. All these people that have been waiting to see Star Wars in the theaters, that they're going to see Star Wars.
People agreeing with me on Twitter.
A lot of people are. Look, and it's
all your 10,945 followers.
Look, I want to slap myself in the face for saying Avengers, but Cody, who do you think is going to be opening weekend?
I think Avengers has a chance because 1, it's in 3D. I don't think Star Wars is, right?
It's not.
So that's automatically.
It's a great point.
And number 2, Avengers 1 had the highest opening weekend of all time.
It's a great point. Yeah.
Jedi Alliance host Ken Napsel.
Yeah. All right, Upham. Thank you for those. That was great.
Dude.
Upham's Corner will come back. We like that segment.
Corner.
We love Upham.
I like Upham's Corner. So
if you like guilty movie pleasures, go. Upham runs our social network. This week will be From Dusk Till Dawn, starring Oscar winners Quentin Tarantino and George Clooney.
Love that one. And I like. Real quick before we do anything else, let's now go to the podium. And Upham has transformed into the associate
Look at those
producer.
shoulders.
Give him a farewell clap. Cobster!
Yeah, I literally drove all the way out here just to cheerlead.
That's it, Cobster. So I know last week I didn't get to talk to you about it. So you're leaving town, dude. You're leaving Schmogel for a little bit, but you'll be back.
Yeah, I'll be back, and I'll be doing some things here and there. Hopefully, maybe me, JTE, and Cody are going to be filming some exciting stuff this weekend.
Working on that GoPro, though.
No, he's going to do a lot of leg work to match his shoulders.
Yeah, you got it. I got to get back in shape. But yeah, I'm going to be involved as much as I can.
Okay. How do you feel about the death of Finstock?
I just tweeted out right now. I thought he was already dead.
Oh, wow. All right. Very nice. All right. Well, Cobster, real quick, and I'll ask you too. Star Wars or Avengers? What has better opening weekend? Opening weekend, not overall.
When he first told me that, I thought he was crazy. But then after all these points, it is possible. But I'm going to still go Star Wars.
You still Star Wars.
It's been over 30 years.
I know.
That's right.
I know.
You know what the thing is too is I like arguing with Kristian about things, but I'm like, I have a hard time going against this one.
I know, it's tough.
It is.
It's going to be neck and neck.
It's going to be tough.
I think the better movie will be Star Wars, too.
Yeah.
Ken, do you think, just give me a thumbs up if you think Star Wars is going to beat Avengers 2.
Major thumbs up.
Copster, you're furthering your education, correctly? You're not like leaving permanently.
No, you can call in and Skype in and stuff, too.
I'm a 5th year, so I'll be ditching school a couple times.
Exactly. And Copster, by the way, who does all of our Blu-ray reviews on the website. Go and check out his reviews. Just go to the Blu-ray tab on schmoesknow.com, and you can check out all the reviews. And speaking of the website, by the way, if you guys don't know, the 5th You Reviewers Awards, the nominations are out.
I did see that today.
Yeah, and if you guys go to the Schmoes Know website, you guys out there, you vote on Best Picture. All you have to do is go find the article for You Reviewers. Jeremy Johns and Mark and myself, we've been running this thing for 5 years. We're partnering up with all of the YouTubers in the movie review space. AMC Movie Talk will be a part this year. Screen Junkies will be a part this year.
Nice.
We have Cinema Sins that will be a part this year. Comic Book Girl 19 will be a part of it, as well as
Pretty much it.
Andre from Black Nerd Comedy.
Nice.
We got a lot of great people this year presenting.
Oh, good for you.
Nice. Nice. Okay, good. All right. Now, speaking of that, you hear Christian Bale go nuts. Now it is time for the impression off. Mark Reilly.
Here we go, guys.
Have you given your impressions to Cody, the intern?
No, I have not.
Did you write them down yet?
No, I have
Upham,
not.
come on. You're sitting there getting airtime.
I need to.
You skunk.
I got a lot of things going. Moving parts here.
We need to bide some time here.
Yeah, I know.
I think Ken.
Boxers or briefs, quick.
Yeah, here, Riley. Right here.
I mean, boxers.
So Riley, write down five impressions and give them to Upham.
They're good for the. They're good for the boys.
5 impressions that you do.
I think Ken Knapsack will personally, if like Star Wars is not winning the opening weekend thing,
we'll go and buy.
We'll empty his whole bank account.
I think so too.
To make
Ken,
sure
is that true?
Well, we talked about on
what's that?
It wouldn't help.
It wouldn't help you. No.
We talked about how many times on the Between the Sheets New Year special that you and Mark were on. We talked about how many times we would go see Star Wars in the theaters, and I said 3, and you said 7.
I'll see it so many times it's unbelievable. But you have to realize I'm not talking about just on Friday or Saturday or paying. Friday or Saturday. I'm talking about throughout. Whenever.
But I can't wait to go. I can't wait to go to like the cheap theaters for like a $3 one. 6 months later, just like, let's go see Star Wars.
You'll see JT there.
Yeah, JT will be outside selling DVDs.
$3 theaters.
Yeah,
and we will be doing. You know what's going to be a lot of fun? I think.
Don't talk back.
Nice. Hey JT, you know what? Sorry, you know what I want to do real quick? I want to give away. I want to give away a Ripped Apparel shirt to Schmobillion. So JT, turn the phone lines on 424-253-0504. First person to pick. Who's going to win the impression contest? Is it going to be me? Is it going to be Riley? You guys go ahead, and whoever calls in first, you pick that. It's going to be very fast. You just say your name. You say who you think is going to win, and you'll be assigned to that person. You can win a free Ripped Apparel shirt, and very soon 424-253-0504. Tom, who's going to win the impression contest?
I think you are.
Okay.
I mean, I drove you here, and you were yelling at cars and passerby and different people's voices, and I was like, yeah, he's pretty good at it.
Miri?
Who I think's gonna win?
Yeah.
Although Riley's tough to bet against.
I think you're gonna win.
All right, Macougs.
Listen, again,
Sorry, Riley.
I've only heard Sean Connery and Yoda from Riley, along with like a few other average impressions. And you, every time you call me, like, hey, it's Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
I don't like it's. That's my terrible. But it's good.
Riley does a killer.
Everybody put Ken in the stress cam. Put Ken in the stress cam.
Ken, stress cam.
3 minutes left in the show.
Oh, really? All right. Okay. Quick. All right. Let's get. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Cumbus, OG Allen from Georgia. What's going on?
Oh, hey, man. So who do you got? You got Riley or me?
I'm going to go with Kristian. Let's go.
All right. Thanks. Okay, let's get. All right, next caller. Here we go. All right. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Tony from Kentucky. What's up?
Tony, you are with Riley, my friend.
Kentucky.
All right, Tony from Kentucky.
All right, that sounds good.
All right, here you go. So, all right, here's how it's going to work. First of all, I'll let Riley is the Ultimate Schmodown champion. I will let him pick first. He will pick first. Ken, you will give a scenario to whatever impression he picks out, and then you guys can judge out there. Make sure you go to YouTube, Facebook, #SchmoesKnow who you think that round won. So let's see. So who's your first impression, Riley?
You want me to tell you, or you want me to just talk?
Yeah, talk.
That's a good idea.
I think just do it.
So wait.
First, do it.
But Ken gives the scenario. What's the scenario for this person?
Your scenario is, has my mic on?
Yes. What is the scenario?
I'm standing at the podium. Your scenario is that you are having a picnic in the park, but when you went to the trash can and returned to your picnic, someone ate your sandwich.
Chevy Chase.
Look at this.
Oh, yes.
I just threw my lunch away and I come back. And my goddamn sandwich is fucking gone.
Gets his ace.
Yeah, I got my ace. Think of it one time, Bunny Penny, a.k.a. Kristian.
Oh.
How about I just take you down? Knock the shit out of you a couple of times using my thumb. That's right.
All right. Let me. All right. So that's Shunky gets his ace.
Round one in full effect.
Pick a winner. Pick a winner.
Guarantee he gets Schwarzenegger first one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, right?
What's he got?
Patrick Schwarzenegger.
All right.
Or Busey.
You've shown up to the chiropractor's office for your appointment, but they don't have your name in the computer.
I mean, what's the deal with chiropractors? I mean, come on! You're sitting there. What's happening? Your back, it hurts. I mean, next thing you know, your back, a couch. Where's the appointment? I mean, come on! That's all I got.
It was loud.
I mean, you're sitting there talking about a sandwich.
Okay, all right. We got it.
Comedians in cars having strokes.
All right, Riley.
Round one goes to Riley.
Oh, boy.
What's
Scenario is you're in the bedroom with your lover, and this has never happened before.
Oh, this has never happened to me before. Macho man can always get it up, but not today. I don't know what it is. Bonesaw can't do it.
That's good.
Bravo.
All right,
That's
Cody, come on, move your ass.
I got one of your mainstays
I know you
there,
did,
buddy.
You did.
Macho Man can't get it up.
I think it's kind of perfect.
I think it's the apocalypse.
That's why I had a heart attack.
You're in the grocery store. Pineapple or kumquat? Pineapple.
I have to be honest with you. When I walk into the supermarket and I see a kumquat, I say, come on, kumquat. What should I have to do? It doesn't matter because I'm me. So when people say, what else do you need? I say, whatever. It doesn't matter. I got you. I got me. Come on. Who are you? I like to shop. I like to buy ham because I can take the ham and throw it in the air. You ever throw ham up in the air? No, because you don't care. Come on.
Oh, my Lord.
All right, it's 1-1. It's 1-1.
Yeah.
In the Book of Annals, it's 1-1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although Riley, that was good. That was a tough match right there.
Yeah.
I got arms. That's the only reason I was able to win that one. I got lucky.
This is the tiebreaker?
Kumquat worked.
This is the tiebreaker? Okay.
Are we just doing okay?
Well,
Yeah,
you want to do a
tiebreaker.
tiebreaker, or you want to do win by 2?
Well, we're running out of time.
All right. Tiebreaker. We'll do this again, Riley. We'll
You
do it
were
again.
at the governor's ball after the Academy Award ceremony, and you'd like to cut into this dance.
Excuse me, Jenny. I was wondering over here as I was drinking my Dr. Peppers. Would you dance with me? I'm not a smart man, but I know how to dance.
Well done.
Nice
Good.
work.
It's good. All right.
It's gonna be tough.
This is gonna be tough.
Surprised you didn't throw peas and carrots in there.
Oh, I throw a piece of carrots every day.
Mama said dancing was like a
Raccoon's trying to give up a punch. Mama shows him off with a brown.
All right.
Oh, he's feeling confident, guys.
Yeah.
Look at that
Here
face.
is your one chance to ask Miri on a date.
Oh, Christ. Here we go.
Cheekbone.
Oh, Mary.
Kidding.
Oh, Mary, you never should out with me. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
Oh, I mean, I know Fast and Furious movie. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
When I see you on the AMC Movie Talk, I'll see some people making comments like, you fucking twat. You know what Mary's going to do. You know what I mean? I'm fucking Jason Statham, motherfucker.
Oh, he threw it out. I don't know.
That was good.
I think Kristian wins that one.
I would be fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do one last one before you get out of here?
One more. Can we do one more?
We got it. All right. So Schmoville.
It's a tie.
It's a tie. I'll give you a tie. Or Schmoville, go ahead and hashtag who you thought won it. We'll give both you guys.
The impression of is a great game.
It's a good one. We'll do it again. All right,
In
guys.
real life, Statham's a little short for me, but that's okay.
All right, so we are going to say thank you to Schmoville. Thank you to Tom Dagnino for joining us. Thank you to
Tom.
William Mapother and Rya Kihlstedt Kihlstedt. Make sure that you guys also check out Anthony
Harrison
Ingruber.
Ford. Yeah,
Of course, Anthony Ingruber. I know what the fuck I'm
Macuga's
doing.
got a major man crash happening.
Yeah, that's right.
Major.
And check out everybody. Check out, subscribe to The Casual Mafia, and check out Between the Sheets, where Miri Jedekin will eventually be on that show. Check out Schmo Plus and check out what Upham's been doing there, and say farewell to Copster. Make sure you follow everybody. Subscribe to the Schmoes Know podcast channel. This is your first time ever watching. Thank you for doing that. And as always, check out the main channel, youtube.com/Schmoes Know. Check out Miri, myself, and Mark Ellis on AMC Movie Talk. Peace out, Mother F's.
From producers Kristian Harloff, Mark Ellis, and the entire Schmoes Know crew, we would like to thank you for listening to the Schmoes Know Movie Show. Promotional consideration provided by the following: DraftKings, Tom Dagnino's Hair, and SchmoesKnow.com. Special thanks to Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos, the author of Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness, in stores now. To watch or listen to other Schmoes episodes, get movie news, and join the conversation, be sure to visit SchmoesKnow.com. The views expressed were the opinions of the host and do not necessarily reflect the views of this network, especially anything Finstock said. I'm the Pit Boss, and this has been a presentation of Schmoes Know.